think it's live, but let me double check before I say something I regret. Yeah, it's live. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to quickly throw it on a few things, and then we'll get this party started. I'm actually really, really hyped for this. There's a lot of really good matchups, and then there's some that are, like, really dumb. The matchups were all randomized, but yeah, let me throw this on Twitter. How's your guys' day going?
Pretty good, man. Finished watching Death Note today. Just been chilling.
Nice.
Yeah, good. I watched the first episode of Spy Family, and I am excited for more.
I really want to watch it. I'm really hyped about this.
God, it looks so good.
Okay. Let me just throw on my Discord server and then we'll be good to go. Welcome, welcome. Off the Splat, welcome Jerry. How's your guys' day going? Today, we have something a little different. Today, we are streaming a battle tournament. Pretty much, it's canon Bleach fights against other canon Bleach fights. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun, as well as very interesting. Pretty much, how it's working is we have this bracket over here with about, I'd say, 30 to 40 fights-ish, and we're going to basically be ranking each one against each other between art, animation, the actual battle and the impact the battle has, the actual meaning behind the fight, whether it's cool, really any value you can think of when it comes to a fight, and we're all going to be voting, you guys included. When there's a tie, you guys will be the tiebreaker because there is an even number of us. So yeah, I'm actually really excited to get into this. Joining me, we have Axie.
Yo, what's up?
We also have Sensei Inc.
Yo.
And we have Flames of Rebirth, but I think he's mute right now. I'm going to quickly message him on Twitter, because I don't think he knows that we went live.
I'm here.
Oh, you're here? Alrighty. And then we also have Flames of Rebirth, which I've actually collabed with all three of these guys in the past. So this should be actually a crap load of fun. But anyway, let's get straight into this. So first off, am I streaming it? Yeah, good. Okay. Anyway, for the first matchup, we have Kisuke Urahara, Isshin Kurosaki, and Yoichi versus Sosuke Aizen in the Fake Kakura Town arc versus Shunsui versus Lily Baro. Jeez, that sentence is like really like.
I mean, I'm pretty sure all these matchups are going to sound similar to this because the names are they're Bleach names.
Yeah, no. But like, it just sounds weird saying Kisuke versus Aizen versus Shunsui versus Lily Baro. There's so many verses. It's like.
Yeah.
But yeah. What are you guys thinking off the bat? This is a tough one for me.
I mean, while both fights are important, there's something about Kisuke and Aizen that just holds Bleach down at its roots. Um, I based off of just characters alone, I think I'd have to go with Aizen versus Urahara.
Yeah, it's a tough one for me because I genuinely do really, really like the Shinsui versus Libaro fight, but I think it just got unlucky in its placement. You know, like it got matched against one of the best fights in the series, in my opinion. That's what's gonna make my vote for Kisuke versus Aizen.
Yeah, I do want to I guess I'll speak on Kiraku's fight because I actually suggested this fight to you, I believe.
Yeah, you suggested this one and the Ukiura one, I think.
Yeah. So for me, this is a really good fight, and it's important to establish Kiraku's Bankai, which is something that we just never got to see. I think the thing with a lot of the Thousand Year Blood War arc fights that I like is I feel like Kubo took an opportunity to give us a lot of the hype moments, and information that we were just lacking from the rest of the series. Like he jam-packed so much stuff that we were just wondering. A lot of it, you know, being like coming out of the, I mean, of course the Fullbring art was in between, but coming out of the Gotei 13 versus Aizen encounter, a lot of questions a lot of us, or I had, a lot of fans had, was like, well, there were some captains there that didn't get to utilize their Bankai. Why not? You know, what are they? Yeah. And I feel like Kubo answered a lot of those questions in this last arc. So like, I want to just, even though I'm gonna vote Kisuke and Aizen for this one in particular, I just wanted to like speak on the Kiraku fight because I think it did have a lot of relevance to the series, and it answered a very important question that we had. And Kiraku's Bankai is one of my favorites.
Shinsui's Bankai is probably my favorite Bankai in the series, and it's so thematically beautiful. I'd say the big thing that pushes me towards the Kisuke versus Aizen one is how the Shinsui versus Lilibaro fight ended.
Yeah.
Honestly. And I think that's what's gonna make me say, like, both of these are S tier fights.
They're great fights.
Yeah.
It's just going against a better fight, in my opinion. Like,
yeah,
Kisuke and Aizen is so important. And like, it was the precursor to the reveal we have after Plano Getsuka Tensho that Kisuke was just one step ahead this entire time. And you know, so I just think it's so important for that reason. It was kind of like, we're so used to, why I like it so much is we're so used to Aizen having those aha moments where he just gets over on people, and Kisuke was just a better man here intellectually in this moment.
You know,
so I just think it was cool.
I think I agree with you. I think I'm gonna switch my vote though, even though you're staying with the Kisuke fight. I think I'm switching my vote to the Shinsui fight because honestly, I'm just like thinking of that fight. The more and more I think about it, the higher and better I think the fight is. So I'm switching my vote. So right now it's 2-1. What's your vote for Rebirth? You're like if you tie it, then it goes to the audience. But if you go the other route, then it's just gonna go that route.
Okay, and what's the matchup right now?
Oh, sorry, it's
2-1 in whose favor?
In Kisuke versus Aizen's favor.
Okay, I'm actually going to go. Dude, I'm gonna make it 2-2. I'm gonna go to Shinsui and Lilibaro because, really, in a general sense, I'm going to let me make things a little bit spicy. I think this is, you know, that meme that you see on Twitter where they say they're having a mid-off. I think this is a mid-off across the board because I don't like the Shinsui versus Lilibaro fight because of the Nanao intrusion. It kind of ruined what was supposed to be Shinsui's crowning moment, and that sours the battle in my eyes. But at the same time, when I look at Kisuke versus Aizen, and I'm gonna assume you're talking about the entire fight, Kisuke, Aizen, Ishin, and Yoruichi, for all those four characters to be in the scene, and for, you know, like Aizen's metamorphosis form, I didn't think it would really look cool. It's one of the examples where Kubo's aesthetic choices didn't work. I didn't like it. And what did that? I mean, aside from proving that Aizen was getting strong and whatnot, exactly like thematically, what weight did that fight hold?
Exactly.
The only important aspect of that fight I can see is like what you guys said. That was the foreshadowing, I suppose, to Kisuke getting the one up on Aizen after Ichigo has the battle. That's the only purpose I feel it serves in the bigger picture. Which, aside from that, there's nothing in that fight. There's no thematic back and forth aside from Aizen trying to be stronger
and it is.
monologuing.
I agree with
all the
you.
time.
It does have the value of being really cool, but so does the Shunsui fight. Like I do love the moment where like Kisuke's firing back and forth the Kido against Aizen, and then also I guess
Right.
most of the meaning comes from like Aizen's speech at the end. I guess would be the best meaning that you can kind of put on this fight, because his speech not only
let me
during
ask
the
a question.
fight,
I got a question. So when we're judging these fights, are we just keeping it within the confines of the show and what it brought in the show, or are we thinking about it overall? Because there's outside factors that would influence my choices here as
everything. You can use absolutely any value
well.
system.
I just feel like, because I like the reason why I like these fights pretty equally. But the reason why I would lean more towards Kisuke Urahara, like the deciding thing for me is just like it's just more iconic. Like if you were to show these pictures to a group of people, everyone's gonna know and remember this Kisuke and Aizen fight. And I know that's like mainly because like the 1,000-Year Blood War arc hasn't had a chance to be animated yet. But right. I can't just be like, oh, it's not fair because it hasn't got to be animated yet. I have to like take everything into perspective. Like
I also
that's why like I was leaning, because like to me they're both like on equal playing fields. Like I feel like this is a fair matchup. Like I don't feel like it's lopsided. It's not like, you know, one of these fights is going against the Ukiura Ichigo fight or anything. You know what I mean? Like it's even. But like that Kisuke and Aizen interaction in that fight is just iconic. Like people just know about that fight in its totality more. And I feel like that factor existing is what made me lean.
No, that's totally fair. And I also know that that's like one of your that is your favorite moment in the series. I remember you telling me that.
Oh yeah, it's the Kisuke. It, like in a grandiose way. Like it's probably not my favorite. It's like my honest favorite moment. Like, but it's my favorite moment in the sense of like just cool moments that I just remember being hype. Just that incantation that Kisuke says it's always hype for me. Every time I watch it, anytime I see it, I say it along with him. Like it's just one of those moments. So
welcome DK to the Soul Society. Thank you for subscribing. And yeah, no, I love the fight because the Aizen speech at the end of the Ichigo fight kind of ties into and adds a lot of value to this fight, because in this moment it's two beings that have seen the status of the Soul King and know exactly what's going on, and they're battling back and forth. And Aizen's always like, you are smarter than me, but any plan that you use against me, I'm going to squash like a tiny bug. But yeah, so it's currently 2-2. And currently we have a poll inside the chat that's going to be ending in 30 seconds. So you guys have 30 seconds to vote. Final chance to vote. Either vote for the Shunsui fight or the Kisuke fight. This is awesome. This is awesome that our first fight is a tie.
So a huge thing for me here is, you know, you said there was no thematic purpose to this fight between Aizen and Kisuke. But there is.
I agree.
And that's mainly because, like, when you go into the Soul Society flashbacks is when you get the context for this fight. Aizen and Kisuke have had this battle of the minds going on for years, and it finally culminates in a physical fight. This is a long time battle that's been coming, and when I said, you know, they're root characters to the story, these two started the story.
Yeah, no, I agree, actually. I think it depends. Do you include, like, the moment where Kisuke finally wins in the Ichigo fight as part of the Aizen versus Kisuke fight? Like, how far do we take this one moment? Because when I was, like, thinking about this fight, I was solely thinking of the part where Ishin flicks Aizen, appears and flicks Aizen, all the way to the end where, Aizen leaves. That's kind of how I was grading and scaling this fight. And while that held a lot of value,
Which is what, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is what that's what I was doing as well. Full disclosure, I do think that it doesn't lack thematic purpose. It's just a matter of there being the one thematic undertone with Kisuke and Aizen's back and forth, which isn't even solved in this fight itself, which is why I'm sort of sour on it. Because within the context of the battle that happens, not only are there other people involved like Yoruichi and Ishin who really don't do enough, the thematic back and forth between Kisuke and Aizen isn't solved here. It's solved later. So it does give it more credence, but to me, the fight in itself, I like in an isolated state, I don't really rate it. Which is why I just put my vote for Shinsui and Libaro.
Yeah.
But I guess the chat will decide.
It's 50-50 in the chat. 18 votes, 50-50. Next vote wins. Literally, the next person that joins the stream and chooses to vote gets the deciding factor. Welcome. Your oh wait. Kareem's the legend, the myth. The GOAT is in the chat. Alrighty. So Kisuke wins because Kisuke has a 52% to Shinsui's 48%. So,
okay. Fair play.
alrighty.
Fair play.
Fair play. It was close. Like, this is like insanely close for the first fight. Hey KKO, welcome your face to the stream. Like, I was not expecting that to be, like, as close as the first fight. Hello, Annie Meep. Welcome your face to the stream. How's your day going? Yeah, Shinsui's fight is better in my opinion, but, like, you can make an argument for the other one. Welcome your face to the stream, Pluto. Okay, so the next one is going to be Yhwach versus Aizen and Ichigo versus Ichigo versus Quilge. And for me, this is a no-brainer. Aizen versus Ichigo versus Yhwach, like, is clear.
We can steamroll this one. We don't even got to sit here and wait on this one, bro. Like,
yeah.
I don't think none of us are gonna vote for this fucking Quilge fight.
Oh, this one's gonna be interesting.
Yo, are we dissing my boy Quilge though?
Not dissing him. It's going against such a lopsided battle. Like,
that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
So the next one is Uryu.
I don't think anyone's gonna vote for it.
Uryu versus Jugrim versus Unohana versus Kenpachi. And as much as
you know what it is,
yeah,
boy.
yeah. As much as I love Uru versus, as much as I love Uru's fight, Kenpachi's is clear.
The GOAT.
Yeah, can we all just? Is this one sided in the VC? Kenpachi versus Unohana.
The GOAT.
Easy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, like, that fight is. I'm about to go reread that fight.
Don't get me wrong. Uru versus Jugrim's fire, but Unohana versus Kenpachi.
Yo, when that gets animated, oh my God, bro, that shit is gonna be crazy, bro.
Wait. I have a question. Is the 1,000-Year Blood War? Do we know if that's gonna be like a seasonal anime or a constant?
I don't know,
it's
bro.
Long running.
It's gonna be long running.
I pray to God. I pray to God it's long running, bro. I do not want fucking what they doing with JoJo's Part 6. They ruining JoJo's for me right now, man.
So Renji versus Byakuya versus Kenpachi versus Ichigo.
Okay, we can talk about this one.
Yeah. This is a tough one for me because I love both of these fights.
Scroll up a little bit, Postal, so I can see the pictures.
Oh, it's right. So I don't know how to like.
Pictures at?
I'm confused on how because they didn't like pop up because there was a buy one with a buy. So and I don't want to accidentally click one of these and like have it.
Oh, you're
like,
fine. You're fine.
So yeah.
We don't need it. I just was for the chat, but it's fine if it won't pop up.
Let me Google how do I show pictures because I do want to make it so that it looks good, you know.
Yeah.
Because the buy made it go away.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just wondering because I know the chat probably would want to see the pictures.
Chat, do you guys know how to make it show pictures?
Yo, I need October to come on, yo. I need this art to start, man.
Facts. I'm just gonna try shift click.
I'm so hyped, bro.
So for me, it's tough because Kenpachi versus Ichigo establishes this whole relationship boundary. The whole instinct to kill thing is kind of introduced into it by Kenpachi's speech, and then we also get that whole moment where Ichigo is like becoming one with his like Zanpakuto spirit. It's helping him. Well, Zanpakuto spirit in quotations, while Kenpachi has no relationship. So it's like 2 against 1, and it has that whole like almost thematic feel to it. It's genius. It's an amazing fight. But Byakuya versus Renji is also an amazing underrated fight. Like,
so Renji versus Byakuya, I feel like it's a very emotional fight. The emotion of it, of how Renji wants to be stronger and save Rukia, carries that fight beyond anything else.
exactly.
And then you have Ichigo versus Kenpachi, and every time I've rewatched Bleach, this fight, I get chills leading up to it because I know what's coming and I can't wait for it to come. I think I have to go with Ichigo versus Kenpachi here.
I think it's fair for that vote, but just for me, it's Renji versus Byakuya because the amount of emotion in that fight, like finally, for the first time, Renji finally decides, I am going to betray society. I will not betray. I am going to fight for what I think is right and not what society is claiming is right. Not the lies that I'm being told. So my vote's going to be Renji versus Byakuya. So it's 1-1.
For me, I think this is pretty easy. I think Kenpachi versus Ichigo steamrolls Renji versus Byakuya. Just from both in anime and manga and execution and setup. And even from a thematic perspective for what it means for Kenpachi's character moving forward. And the fact that Kenpachi asks what his Zanpakuto's name is and his Zanpakuto says F you as a reply. I think overall, Kenpachi versus Ichigo quite easily. I do appreciate Byakuya versus Renji because it does mean something for Renji standing up to Byakuya, an oppressor, and actually getting the courage to do so. But man, Ichigo versus Kenpachi, especially in the anime, you could tell they put their all into it. Like the art, the animation, the auras. It's, to me, there's no comparison. Ichigo versus Kenpachi easily.
Yeah, you know I'm not going against Kenny, man.
Give me 1 second. I think I figured it out. Wait. So Kenpachi versus Ichigo wins. There we go. And then doesn't work? I don't know. It's not working. Oh well. This is so sad. Alright. So the next one is a bye. Then we get another bye. And then we have Yamamoto versus Yhwach versus Kenpachi versus Nanoitra.
And Kenpachi and Noichi was crazy. What's the other one?
Yamamoto versus Yhwach.
Platino.
Man.
I'm gonna be honest, yo. Yamamoto and Yhwach had left a super sour taste in my mouth, man.
Give me 1 second.
Super sour taste.
So basically, we're gonna have polls are like final votes. So pretty much, if there's a tie, Platino, then the chat gets to be the final vote. Hope that explains that.
Yeah. So, Rebirth, basically, when you said you want to know why, you were referring to me. I didn't know.
Yeah. I agree. But
my sour taste got left in my mouth because Yamamoto fought his heart out in this fight, and then I find out that, spoiler alert for anyone in the chat, that this isn't the actual Yhwach. Yeah. So it diminished that fight a lot for me. And it really made me feel like Yamamoto, like, they sent him off fighting a fake, and he fought his heart out. Like, literally did everything within his power, and died to a no one. So like it left a bad taste in my mouth for the Captain Commander. I'm gonna be honest.
Nah, I feel that because they've hyped him up for so long to be the strongest Soul Reaper, Shinigami, whatever you want to call it. And, Yhwach is the greatest enemy they faced, and he doesn't even get to actually face Yhwach. He just, I feel you.
Can I play devil's advocate here? Because I do agree with you. Well, actually, so let me instead rephrase this. So does it mean that you're gonna pick Noitora and Kenpachi then?
Probably, but it's closer than like it's close enough that like I could possibly be swayed depending on like what your argument is.
Also, note in the
Okay.
chat, Lloyd wasn't copying Yhwach's power. He was copying Yhwach's face. Because there's two. One had the ability to copy power. The other one had the ability to copy appearance. And Yamamoto fought the copying appearance ability.
I think rather, well, yeah, both could copy appearance. One could copy memories,
yeah, my
including
bad.
and the other powers.
Yeah, my bad.
Right.
Sorry.
So let me play devil's advocate. I'm just gonna put something out into the ether. Let me know what you think. If Kubo had written Yamamoto to have fought the real Yhwach, and we all know that the real Yhwach could have stolen his Bankai just like that. If Yhwach hadn't immediately taken Yamamoto's Bankai as he did, would you have felt that Kubo was writing Yhwach to be not as, I don't know, battle savvy as he should have? Like, if you can limit his Bankai, would you not do it immediately, which he did? Wouldn't that then just like box Kubo into a corner where you have to pick someone who would be unable to take his Bankai in order to show Yamamoto's Bankai? What do you think?
Yeah, I get that. I understand why it happened the way it did, but it's just one of those situations where it's like I don't feel like there was a possible way to have Yamamoto lose I don't think there was a way he could have made him lose that would have left me without having a sour taste in my mouth, honestly. Like I feel like I feel like he kind of had no choice, but it's just like it still gave me that feeling, you know? And it sucks because I'm like, this, ever since, I don't know how y'all felt, but ever since I seen Yamamoto be hindered the way he was with Wonder Wise, ever since then I was like, I'm just waiting for a redeeming moment. And then when, for me, I see his dearest friend die,
All right.
and he's fighting, you know, with his will inherited, basically like I'm doing this, you know, for, you know, of course, the Soul Society, but it felt to me like he's also fighting for his friend. And then for that to happen to him, it sucks, you know? Like I get why it happened narratively, but it still sucks.
So what left a sour taste in your mouth left the opposite in my own. I kind of want to express how my emotions on that moment and my emotions on that fight. So, first of all, prior to this fight, we see Yamamoto's rage get started. I mean, his friend is lost. He absolutely demolishes Overkill. He does one swing of his sword and defeats 3 Stern Riders like it's nothing. And then here's the fake Yhwach in front of him. This fake Yhwach still has the memories of the real Yhwach. And because of that, he still has that emotional struggle between them, and there's still that emotional conflict. And Yamamoto's like kind of just dealing with all these emotions of losing his friend still, and he's still coping with that. And then for Yhwach to come down, absolutely obliterate Yamamoto because of Yamamoto's pride getting in the way, I thought was genius, not only from an emotional standpoint, but also from a writing standpoint. I mean, here we have Yamamoto, the Captain General of the Gotei 13, unable to do anything in his power to protect the Soul Society. He has failed his mission, and it was all simply because of his pride that got in the way. And I think because of that, that's what makes me love the fight to pieces.
Doesn't that literally mean that in a battle manga, the person who was thought to be the most powerful Soul Reaper, we literally have never seen him in a fair 1v1, like how should I put this, story relevant fight. Like every battle, like against Shinsui and Ukitake, it's 2v1 and we don't even see the fight. Against Aizen, Wonderwise takes his Zanpakuto away. Against Yhwach, it's not the real Yhwach.
You see, that's where I disagree.
Never seen him.
We do. We see him against Aeon, absolutely demolishing Aeon, a being that was wrecking
Aeon doesn't
Quilge.
count, bro. Nah. He
We
just, like,
see
this is
we
Yamamoto.
see moments of Yamamoto shining and showing how overpowered he is. No, I think Aeon does count. The manga spent so long with Aeon, spent so long with Aeon overall, and then also Overkill had his relevance with Yamamoto like Overkill being the one that killed his friend. Like, we do see all these moments. And also, I think Yamamoto's death made the Quincy's feel like a threat.
Yeah, but Pokeshow, like, don't you feel like I'll give you Aeon in the sense that yes, he was an established threat at the time for Yamamoto to take out, and they did spend time on him, but like, it's Yamamoto, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not trying to like downplay Aeon here. I'm just saying, like, if Aeon was to have the same fight with like a mid-tier fighter, right?
Quilge.
I would have felt this. I would have probably felt the same thing, like from Aeon's side. Yamamoto fighting him, it was just like, oh, I just expected Yamamoto, like, this is cool because yeah, he's hindered right now from Wonder Waste, but he's so powerful that he's still going to defeat this enemy. And you know, that was cool. That's all I got from it, was that this is cool that he overcame that.
I mean,
it's not the same feel as like if I had got to see a Yamamoto versus the actual Yhwach, or if I had got to see Yamamoto versus Aizen, or I had got to see Yamamoto, you know, someone of actual relevance that matches him, you know. So it's not, I just can't put Yamamoto and Aeon on the same level as what Yamamoto and Yhwach would have been if it was the real Yhwach.
You see, but like at the same time, like I still think that the fake Yhwach was still of level to where we did get that feeling of, hey, Yamamoto's destroying this opponent that does have relevance. Yamamoto is destroying this opponent that was broken.
It was awesome, Pokeshow, until it wasn't.
Agreed.
Like it was great until it wasn't.
That's
like,
where we disagree, because I just love the moments after, like with the real Yhwach. Like I think that that just from a story perspective and from like a writing standpoint was not only hype, it was chilling down my spine to see like how Yhwach didn't even consider Yamamoto a threat at all. Like he just looked at didn't that fake we just saw that fake Yhwach one shot the Kenpachi. So,
right. I mean, so just in case you guys are wondering what my vote is, I'm still choosing Yamamoto versus Yhwach, because Kenpachi versus Notora, I don't think that's enough to offset the cool aspect of Yamamoto's battle. So, just to make it clear, I think it's me and Pokesol are for Yamamoto v Yhwach. So,
yeah, like I get where you're coming from.
The more I'm talking about it, bro, like. I don't know. I can't, bro. Cause like I get what you're saying, Postal, but like everything that you're saying, like that's why it diminished the fight for me. Like
I guess it's just
it bothered me. It bothered me so much that like I was so hyped reading this fight because I'm like, this is amazing. And then that moment happening just kind of like belittled everything before it for me. Like that's why I can't, like, it's just hard. It doesn't make me hate the fight, but it disappointed me. But I also see why it happened, and I think it was a great setup for us to fucking hate Yhwach, because after this fight right here made me hate him, which it's just like I hated him as not in a way of like, oh, he sucks as a character, but I hated him as an antagonist. Like, and I felt like that was Kubo's intention. He was doing this and belittling someone that is probably the most hyped up and waited on character in Yamamoto, after seeing his fucking people suffer, seeing his best friend die, being willing to put his life on the line for this fight, and then to find out that it's not even the real Yhwach and that Yhwach doesn't even see him as a true threat, it made me hate him. So I feel like that, honestly, I feel like Kubo was doing this intentionally to set up our bad feelings for Yhwach moving forward, so he could be like a true antagonist.
Yeah,
which I respect. For that reason, I'll give it my vote. For that reason, but I just want to clarify that I just really did not like how it went, how it happened, and how I felt afterwards.
Well, thank you, Robert, for subscribing. And I have a question for you. So, do you like the conversation Yamamoto and Yhwach have afterwards, or is it just that entire?
Oh no, I like the fight itself is well written. It's a well written fight. I like the fight. I just hate the feeling I had.
Oh, okay.
With that moment, like it just made me feel shitty about the fight. Mm-hmm. But I still respect what the fight was supposed to be and what purpose it played.
All right.
Agreed.
So it's just like
I think the best way I can put it, because I do share a sense opinion here, is that we understand how good of a written fight it was, but comparing that on the scales with what we lost in order to get what we were given, we still feel like something was lost, and that's all of it. It's like we're leaving Bleach, and we never got to see Yamamoto get a well enough send off in terms of a battle. Like the conversation between Yhwach and like Yhwach stepping on his foot, cutting his arm off, blowing him into bits. The Gotei 13 died with us 1,000 years ago. All that is great, but what did we lose to get it? We lost something. So it's great, but at the same time, I'm sour.
It feels bad. Exactly. It's it's one of those moments that feel bad.
I respect your guys' view, and I understand it.
And we still vote for it, though.
Yeah. What's your vote, Axie?
I'm gonna be the outlier and just go muscle brained and say two-handed Kenpachi, and that's my vote.
Yeah,
I ain't mad at you, Ashy.
So it doesn't really matter, but I am gonna put this one in the polls just to see like what they think, because
I think the chat mostly agrees with me and you and Rebirth Postal. It's just. They also, some of them agree that like it just felt bad. It's just one of those things that felt bad. It's like it's like a guilty pleasure. Like it, like it's like the fight was pleasurable, but I felt shitty.
We just had
it made me feel shitty, bro.
Like, there was just people in the chat that were like put up a poll. So I was like, you know what? That's what I'll do, just for fun. Okay, next fight is Byakuya versus Amari versus Sosuke Aizen versus the Gotei 13.
What is it? Sosuke versus the 13, and then what's the other one?
Byakuya versus Amari. Now the Sosuke Aizen versus the Gotei 13 includes Aizen versus Shinji, Aizen versus the captains and the visors, and Aizen versus Yamamoto.
Yeah, Byakuya versus this is the one that happened in the last arc?
Yeah, no, this is Zamari is the Espada, so he's the Eye Espada.
Oh,
and I'm gonna say
the Eye guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, although I love the thematics in that fight, like the whole moment where Zamari's saying the hypocrisy of the Shinigami, and then Byakuya is like, I'm not gonna kill you because I'm a Soul Reaper. I'm gonna kill you because you pointed your blade at my only pride. Like that moment is amazing. But the Aizen fight, we have that whole theme of
that fight was crazy, bro.
Not only is it wild, but also the whole speech. Like Aizen has like 50 speeches in there.
I made an entire video just off of this fight, bro. It was like 30 minutes. Like, bro, this fight is so fire, bro. This was pure and utter dominance, bro. This was one of the most dominant showings that I've seen from any character in an anime, period. Like
Aizen just flexed on them the entire time.
The entire time, bro. Like what he did to Hitsugaya is crazy. Like
yeah, I 100% agree.
Bro, the look on Ichigo's face as he's watching from the outside and realize what they're doing is literally one of my favorite moments, period,
and
bro.
Like he's impact on this too.
The look of disgust that this man had.
Fucking each other up.
Like, bro, he's watching this happen and she's like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like, bro, like what is happening right now?
So,
that shit was crazy.
Yeah, so I take it all of us are voting for the Aizen fight?
100%. Like,
yeah, there's
Look, the Gotei 13, and you know the reason why I love it so much is because Kubo spent majority of the arc just setting up how like the Espada are good, but the Gotei 13 eventually beat all of them before they get to Aizen, and then Aizen just trashes Hardy Bell. These guys are not scrubs, and then proceeds to have Aizen just run through all of them. That like you can't beat that. That beats
exactly.
Madara Diz of the Hokage. You can't beat that.
Exactly.
And then you have Shinji, who's so my skill's kind of like yours, but it's better. And then Aizen's like, no.
Aizen Loki was like, your skill's like a great value Hyosugetsu. It's a Walmart brand version of mine.
This fight also made me respect Ishin's introduction as a Soul Reaper so much more.
100%.
Because to see what Aizen was doing to them and then to see what Ishin was doing, I'm like, it just made me like, okay, yeah, Ishin's one of those. He's one of those guys. Like, he's different.
All right, so moving on, the Bambi versus Komamura gets a free buy. Ukiura versus Ichigo gets a free buy. Ichigo versus Gijo gets a free buy.
What's it going up against, please?
Oh, it's a buy. So meaning that there's no fight in place there because the bracket was too big.
Okay.
There just wasn't nothing to go against it. Yeah.
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 I wasn't saying like it was.
That's probably good.
something.
That's probably good for Ukiura Ichigo because I didn't want it to go against a fight that was like good. Like I didn't want it to go against a fight that was actually really good early, and then have to like vote a really good fight out just because that fight's fucking.
Well,
great.
I wanted to be funny and put it against the Grimjow fight just to get heated.
No.
It will eventually get there because Grimjow's also in this bracket.
Because there's some fights that are like, yo, they're probably not gonna go to the finals, but they're good enough they should make it to the next round. You know, like I don't want them to get knocked out immediately.
Exactly. Ichigo and Orihime versus Yhwach versus Superstar versus Renji.
I'm gonna be honest, yo.
Oh no! Please.
I do not like the Superstar versus Renji fight.
No!
Let's go! Let's go!
Listen. It's not that I don't. All right, let me rephrase. It's not that I don't like the fight. I just get so cringy from that guy. He's so cringy, bro. I don't.
But it's Sternrider. It's Sternrider S for James Hansen.
It just. I know, bro, but it's so cringy, bro. I'd be like, bro, stop.
No,
bro.
Superstar is no. Superstar is the second worst Sternrider. Nobody can tell me otherwise.
Oh, come on, y'all are a bunch of haters.
You know, the only
bro,
reason,
I am hating on him, bro. But at least I'm being honest about it, bro.
Yo, bro, come on, Superstar, he put the beat down on Kensei. He put the beat down on. Rose.
He
put
did.
the beat down on Shuhei. Like the dude was taking.
Bro.
You see, for me, it just
did, bro. It's like you know what Superstar. You know where Superstar belongs. Honestly, he should be on One Punch Man. Like, bro, he's a One Punch Man character. I swear to God, bro. As soon as I seen him, bro, I'm just like, bro, this guy either needs to be on the Ginyu Force, or he needs to be in One Punch Man, bro. Like he.
Hey, Sin, Superstar video win?
No, bro, I might have to, bro. Might have to.
You see, my problem with the Superstar fight is it really hurts power scaling for me because I don't like the fact that Superstar absolutely demolishes two visors. Like, it's kind of like the Yhwach fight for you guys, but for me, like, it just leaves such a sour taste in my mouth that Superstar absolutely destroyed Kensei and Love. Wait, no, it was Rose. Kensei and Rose. And then absolutely got demolished by Renji. No, it is their fault because they were being idiots. But because they were being idiots, it just gives me a sour taste. I think it's difficult because on one hand, I really like the fact that Renji finally gets a W, you know?
After God knows how long.
Yeah, but I also really like the Orihime and Ichigo versus Yhwach fight is like the final section Orihime needed to her character arc. She finally was able to fight with Ichigo, and that was like something that she's been slowly growing to be able to do throughout the entire series, and that was like the whole purpose of her character finally reaching its peak was in that fight. And that's why I'm going to vote that fight over the Superstar fight. I love how Renji gets a W, but I just think that the emotional weight of Orihime finally fighting on terms with Ichigo is even better.
What is it? What is this other fight? I didn't hear. I heard the Superstar Renji.
It's Ichigo and Orihime versus Yhwach versus Superstar versus Renji.
Yeah, I have to go with Ichigo and Orihime, especially because of the monologue that Orihime had with herself leading up to the fight. It was great.
Exactly.
Agreed.
Yeah, anyway,
I have to go.
I agree.
The part of the Orihime versus and Ichigo versus Urahara that I like the most is really, as you said, it's more so than the fact that Orihime has powered up enough to be able to fight by Ichigo. I think I love more that Ichigo allows himself to rely on Orihime, because there are multiple moments within that fight where, you know, he tells Orihime, like, you have my back, or, you know, whatever, and he just calls out to Orihime. She does the shield. As he's fighting, she's healing him. Like, he's not even asking. She's just doing, like, the, you know, if you play your RPG game, she's just playing the part of the healer, and she's just doing it to perfection. And I think, like, in the anime, I would love if they give more moments, because Kubo only did maybe 2 or 3 of those. In another situation, they could just spam all that stuff, because it's really good for Orihime's character. So, for me, it's quite easily. Although, Renji v Mask, like, I'm sorry, Renji has not looked better than there. Like the man was cold.
Reggie got a really cool like power reveal with his
really,
new
really
Bankai,
cool.
but
Really
so
cool.
did
I loved
Ichigo.
it.
Remember Horn of Salvation? That's really fire, and that also happens.
Yeah, you
I
can't
love
beat
both. Yeah, I feel like the Renji fight wasn't really emotional, more like a really cool moment instead. I do agree with that. That's a really good statement. Whereas like the Ichigo and Orihime fight was cool, but also had that emotional impact. Next up is Ichibe versus Yhwach versus Ichigo versus Grimmjow.
Why?
No.
Damn.
No.
You gonna put my Ichigo fight against, you feel me? Against the other Ichigo fight?
Oh my. Oh.
Come on, man.
Ichigo versus Grimmjow had such like a long-standing effect on me since I watched it like when I was a kid, and it's one of those fights that I remember fondly. And then just the Ichiban fight, his whole power scheme, what he's fighting for, you know, not even what he's fighting for, just learning his powers. That shit was insane.
I'm biased. We all know my views on Grimmjow. As much as I like him, he's not even like top 3 Espada for me. So
Get out of here.
I'm going the Ichibe versus Yhwach fight just because of how cool Yhwach is and like how cool Ichibe is in that fight. And I just love from start to finish how that fight took place. We gotta see so many forbidden Kido. There's even a little bit of meaning too because Ichibe like he underestimated his opponent to a million degrees. Yhwach treated Ichibe like he was like this opponent, but like Ichibe was like, oh, you shouldn't even consider me opponent because of like how great Ichibe was and who he was. Like he was the Shinigami, you know, like
Tough.
he kind of like, yeah. I love this fight, and I totally get why it's close for a lot of people. I mean, I love Grimmjow as a character, I do. It's just I value other Espadas higher, and I love their fight. It's one of the best fights in the series. But I'm going straight for Ichibe versus Yhwach. That's my vote.
Wait.
Y'all. Oh.
So, I just want to confirm here: the Ichigo versus Grimmjow, is this all of their fights?
No, this is the
or
final one.
Only in.
This is the final one. But
Man, this is tough.
okay, if so, with the final one, as much as I do like it, if it included all of their fights, I'd have to give it to that one. Just because the beginning of their relationship basically sends Ichigo into this spiral of depression.
yeah,
Where he doesn't know what to do because he's losing control of himself. And if that was included in there, that would take the spot for me just because that's so character driven. But without that, I'd have to go with Ichibe. So it really depends.
I'm gonna just go with Ichibe and Yhwach, man.
Oh.
I'm just not gonna think about it too much, bro.
yeah. Rebirth, do you
Bro,
want to give Grimmjow one vote so it doesn't look like it was a landslide?
I want to be honest to myself. I just wish you gave him a different fight, a different bracket.
Yeah.
You can't beat.
It's
Ichibe
like
versus Yhwach is tough. That's a tough one.
it's
That's a
tough
tough
between
one,
the
man.
two. I get it. I just love
This is what I
Ichibe
was
and
talking
Yhwach a
about
lot more.
earlier, Rebirth. I'm like, I don't want one of these fights to get in the first round against a really good fight.
Ichigo versus Grimmjow gets beat in the first round. That's embarrassing. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go Ichibe versus Yhwach for the simple fact these are two titanic, like the most powerful person we have on our side, not counting Ichigo. They were the most powerful person we have on our side, Ichibe versus Yhwach, and really, after like, because I think within the scope of the story, Yhwach had been doing nothing but delegating and one-shotting people the entire way. Like, he put the beat on Yamamoto. He didn't even want to fight the other royal guards. It's only until he reaches Ichibe where he's like, all right, everyone stand back. He is for me. And he goes in, and he actually is on the back foot for majority of the fight until the end. Like,
Yeah.
So, you know what, Ichibe
And to
versus
add
Yhwach.
to that, it's low-key basically the father of the Shinigami, because that's kind of the role that I give to Ichibe. He's basically the father of the Shinigami versus the father of the Quincy. We gained this.
Right.
Thank you, TWP Popcorn, for subscribing to the channel. Alrighty, the next one is Ichigo versus Renji again. Is it in here twice?
No, we didn't have that.
No, we
Oh
haven't
no,
done
we
that.
did get Ichigo versus Renji, but I guess it's in there twice, so it gets a second round just from convenience. It moves on with a bye.
That's not fair. Like,
It was
Joe
accident.
and Ichigo gets dropped, and
Well, it's gonna
Yeah,
lose
fine.
the next battle anyway because Ichibe versus
Fair
Yhwach is its next matchup.
So you know what we should have did, Postal? We should have had 2 parts of this. We should have did like this, or we should have did like 3 parts to this video. We should have did this and then a losers bracket, and then we should have did like a final thing.
Maybe like, who knows? I would be like down to do something like this again because like this is fun, just like with different matchups and stuff. Or like one thing that I want to do is I want to do a Bleach Tournament of Power stream. I think
Like
that'd
what?
be
Like
fire.
power
It's
scale,
gonna
like
get
power
mad
scale, like
toxic.
power scale the characters.
Yeah, where you just get a bunch of characters
Lord.
thrown in.
Nah, I'm good off.
He wants it to
good.
get
I'm
toxic.
good off. I'm good off
Yeah.
that one, y'all. The power scaling, y'all can have that.
Komamura versus Kaname versus Gerard versus everyone. I'm gonna be straight up. Although Gerard versus everyone has a lot of cool reveals, the way that fight ended has to be one of the worst ways a fight has ended in Bleach, in my opinion. And it just defeats it makes all the reveals just have this horrible taste in my mouth, and I despise them. And Komamura versus Kaname is just so amazing. I mean, the whole moment where Kaname looks at Komamura and he's like, "You're ugly." Kaname's backstory, just the entire fight is like this emotional impact that has been built up since Soul Society. My vote is Kaname versus Komamura.
I'm gonna go. I'm going to go. Gerard Valkyrie versus everyone. The thing with Kaname versus Tosin, Kaname versus Komamura, that I think it's a great fight for good characters. So it's like the characters involved are good. They're B level characters in my opinion. These aren't A level. These aren't S level.
I disagree.
These are B level characters having a great fight. But in the Gerard Valkyrie versus everyone, these are great characters having what I would consider a good fight or even a fair fight. It's still like Kenpachi's Bankai, Toshira's Metro Bankai, Byakuya's new move you can't it's, even though overall you can look back on that fight and say it should have been better, there's too many big hitters in that for it to be beaten by Komamura and Kaname in my eyes. I'm giving mine to Gerard versus everyone.
I gotta give it to Tosin.
Monson,
The
come to
emotional
my side.
of this fight is too much for me.
Yeah, like there's so much emotional impact on that fight. It's all up to Sin.
Monson, please.
What are the options?
Gerard versus everyone, or Kaname versus Komamura and Shuhei.
What's the votes right now? It's 2-1.
2-1, 2 for Kaname versus Komamura, and 1 for Gerard versus everyone. Fact splat. And also, like, the fight gets even more value splat later on when Komamura fights Bambi.
Nah, stop it.
Bro, Postal, you
Did I just ruin
don't
it for
ever
you?
stop. You ruined it, bro. I was about to vote for Komamura, bro, and then you brought up Bambietta, bro.
Look, but come on. I like send. Like, even if you want to pull that card, look.
No, I am going. I'm not going to switch my vote. But I just want everybody to know that anytime Postal talks about Bambietta, it makes me sick to my stomach. And it's not even because I dislike Bambietta. It's just this man Postal in one of my streams, I think said Bambietta so many times that I asked him to just not say it anymore for a while.
Well, somebody randomly asked me, like, what was one of my favorite moments inside of Bleach, and I said Bambietta versus Komamura, and that Bambietta's hot.
That's gross. Yeah, but I'm gonna vote for
She
Komamura
is.
here.
Oh, what?
Anyway, moving on. Rukia versus Asnot gets a bye. Byakuya versus Ichigo gets a bye. Ichigo versus Aizen gets a bye. Okay, Kisuke versus Askin versus Shuhei versus Shuhei versus Findor.
That's not fair.
Wait, what's the matchup again?
Kisuke versus Askin versus Shuhei versus Findor.
That's not fair. So yeah, like I chose Shuhei versus Findor, and you've basically given them no chance to get out of this.
No, it was randomized, by the way, Rebirth.
There was okay. Well, I mean, it's clear. Askin versus Kisuke, like you can't beat that. That was one of the more complete battles in Bleach. Yeah, so.
Yeah, you could argue Shuhei has one of the best animated fights. I think Ginjo versus Ichigo is a little better, but it's definitely up there. Are we all voting Kisuke versus Askin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Ikaku Madarame versus Edrad versus Byakuya versus Tsukishima.
No, this is a tough one.
I love both of these fights.
I gotta go with Byakuya.
Same.
I gotta go with Ikaku.
The whole rewriting his history, trying to fit himself in there, and Byakuya just shrugs it off every single time. I love that fight so much. That was gonna be one of my choices.
Yeah. So one of my favorite moments inside that fight is literally when Byakuya like basically says, like, the amount of development that you see through Byakuya because of this fight is incredible. First of all, you see the development of the Zamari fight where Byakuya is like, now his pride is Rukia. But in this fight, you see his development with his relationship with Ichigo to its prime, because he literally basically says, anyone who is the enemy of Ichigo is my enemy, no matter who you are.
I'm going to defend Ikaku versus Edrad. Aside from the fact that you get to see Ikaku in his most purest form, fighting for spore, switching the sheath and the sword mid-fight, to using his Shikai, to using his Bankai, and then getting the backstory. To me, the crowning moment of Ikaku's character is after you get the backstory with Renji, and Renji goes to him trying to get him to become the new captain, and he says, I too have a goal. I'm chasing someone. My goal is to live and die as Zaraki's subordinate. Never ask me again. And Renji says nothing, bows down. To me, like, I'm sorry, Byakuya versus Tsukishima was great, but like that moment for Ikaku, that to me, no, I gotta go with Ikaku.
No, I totally respect your take, Rebirth. Like, Ikaku versus Edrad is probably my favorite non-lieutenant, non-captain fight in the series. Oh, wait. Dang it.
How many of those did we get anyway?
Dang it. Non-Ichigo, too. No, Ikaku versus Edrad is definitely like a top tier fight. Oh, I voted for Byakuya versus Tsukishima, just because of the whole, like, how much it shows Byakuya's development. But, like, I could totally see Ikaku versus Edrad. In fact, Rebirth has, like, half convinced me, and now I'm like, I don't know. But I'm leaning more towards Byakuya versus Tsukishima, just barely. But Ikaku versus Edrad is just so good. It's when Ikaku uses his Bankai.
It's going to a poll, man.
So,
all right.
It's going to a poll, man. Cause, bro, I've heard both sides. I've heard both arguments. I'm gonna be honest, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ikaku, man. So
my whole thing here is, with the Byakuya versus Tsukishima fight, it's everything that leads up to it. We see how Tsukishima tore apart Ichigo's life with every single change he made, turning his friends against him. And so you're expecting something like that to happen with Byakuya, but it doesn't. He just shrugs it off, and he just keeps going. And as Poxel said, it shows Byakuya's development in... like, we haven't seen him for a while, especially since the Fullbring arc began, and now he's back, and the whole, you know, if you're an enemy of Ichigo, you're an enemy of mine, and I just can't.
You know, originally, like, in my head, I was like,
these are both really good fights.
Originally in my head, I was like,
this is close.
Ikaku's fight is, like, Ikaku's fight's gonna lose, originally in my head when I was thinking about it. But, like, Rebirth just, like, remind me of the entire, like, flashback in the battle, and like how great it was, and how, like, the emotional impact.
He won me over with the quote, man. The quote got me.
When Yumi, like when Yumi Chika looked at Keigo and was like, and called up the Soul Society and was like, prepare a funeral for Ikaku Madarame.
Like, when he said the quote, I got a chill. Like, he gave me a chill when he said it. Like, that's why he got me, man, with the quote. He got me with the quote.
That's a copy pasta, I swear. Are you who I think you are? Are you what's his name on Twitter? Because I swear I see this one Twitter user, Styx, I think his name is, reply to like every Bleach hate post with, you should read the Bleach manga. It's better than the anime, but give it the first time to pop off.
So let me see. What's the chat saying?
Oh, it's currently 50-50 with 12 votes. Man, it's so bloody close.
Come on, chat.
I'm happy either way. Like, either way, I think we all can admit, like, this is a close one. Even though, like, the Byakuya versus Tsukishima one's great fight. Edrad versus Ikaku, great fight. Sadly, Ikaku doesn't have a good moment after that, but...
Oh, come on, guys. Please. Ikaku needs a dub.
I am gonna end it in 20 seconds.
55-45.
Hey, man, I tried, man.
Is Ikaku gonna get his first W?
It's fine.
Yeah, I'm ending the poll.
Just like Kubo, everybody just forgets about Ikaku.
No, Swanson, no, give us 40 seconds. Thank you so much, Jax Attacks 481, for subscribing to the channel. You are a goat for real, not gonna lie.
Oh, yeah.
So Tsukishima
We
won.
tried.
It was close, and I totally respect the Ikaku takes. Next up is Mayuri versus Giselle versus Ginichimaru versus Ichigo. And for me, this isn't even really close. As much as I love the Giselle versus Mayuri fight in Thousand Year Blood War, the Gin versus Ichigo fight is just so good in my opinion. But, what are your guys' thoughts? My vote's easily for Gin versus Ichigo.
Well, that's not a surprise.
I mean, it really isn't. Gin is my favorite character after all. This is like my second favorite fight, third favorite fight in the series, maybe fourth. Top 5, at least.
It's not even a complete fight, I feel. But I'm gonna go Mayuri versus Giselle. Because Mayuri completely, like, that's including Mayuri versus Giselle. She brings in the zombie visors. Mayuri counters with the zombie around cars or whatever. And then, well, or is that backwards? And then Toshiro comes in, and Mayuri absolutely wrecks Toshiro. To me, it's Mayuri versus, what's her name? I forgot her name. Mayuri versus the chick.
You see,
Look,
Giselle.
I love the
completely
fight.
Unhinged.
Oh,
I'm gonna be unhinged. I picked the Gazelle fight because I'd smash.
y'all are else.
Oh, no.
Y'all are actual else.
Oh, no.
I swear. The Gin fight is so good. Ichigo's whole speech on being able to feel emotions through the sword, the foreshadowing of Gin's, like, betrayal in that fight is, like, super heavy. You literally get, like, flashbacks. Gin's, like, observation, Gin using his Bankai and absolutely demolishing Ichigo. Like, the fight is so clear. So clear.
Mayuri pulled an Izanagi.
Mayuri's fight with Giselle was cool. Mayuri's fight against Giselle was cool. You know what, Sin? Where are you voting?
So it's Gin
Versus Ichigo versus
who?
Mayuri versus Zombie Chick. Giselle.
Including all the fights. All of them. Visors, Toshiro, all that.
But the Gin fight had, like, the Bankai, the flashback, the speech.
But it doesn't have Gazelle.
Giselle ain't hot.
Yep, you're wrong.
Kind of
Isn't
sus,
Giselle
not
a
gonna lie.
dude?
Yeah, Gazelle's low-key a dude.
don't need to
Confirmed
talk
by
about
Kubo.
that.
Confirmed by Kubo.
I'll probably go again at Ichigo.
Let's go! Okay, poll time.
no.
Poll time. Come on, guys.
Okay, it's 2-2.
If you guys have ever cared about my YouTube channel, then vote Gin.
Well, okay, fine. Let's have you defend your stance then.
I just did.
What? No, but let me pose this question to you because one of the reasons why I'm not too in on that fight is because basically all that fight accomplished was proven. Well, not the only thing, but the major thing there was that Ichigo wasn't on the level of these fighters. He was massively outclassed, and the fact that Ichigo was afraid of Aizen, which, you know, Gin says, "Get out of here! I don't want to."
Ichigo being afraid of Aizen was a major thing it revealed. Gin, Ichigo didn't even consider that he could win against Aizen, and Gin pointed that out. Gin manipulated Ichigo's mind to perfection, and then we saw foreshadowing for Gin's betrayal right before, and we also learned about Ichigo's ability to sense the emotions coming out of the sword, which is very important for Ichigo versus Aizen. No, actually, don't vote Giselle. $10. No, we did, but we didn't know it to the extreme. And we also get, like, that peak, thank you for the $10, by the way, Axie. Either way, I'm just hoping Gin wins this. I love the foreshadowing. I love the speeches. When Gin calls Ichigo creepy, Gin's like, "Oh wow, you're creepy for real." He's like, "In your eyes, I see defeat." Pretty much.
All right, cool.
And then it's just so great for later. I'm sorry.
I think there's more. There's more in Mayuri versus Giselle.
Cap, you're wrong.
Including Giselle.
Ratio. I'm sorry. I'm not actually toxic. I don't really care who wins at the end of the day. But I think Gin's fight is just so clear of this one, personally.
Cool.
But
It's like the chat who's already decided.
But I just want to make it clear, I do respect all opinions here, even if I don't agree.
It's okay. My opinion's not respectable.
Yeah, I mean, you literally voted for Giselle because he was hot.
Yes.
Oh, this man actually horny.
By the way, Sin, thank you so much for making this a poll. I was so scared you were going to say Giselle.
Bro, I honestly, like, I'm not picking that shit, bro.
Oh.
Nothing against it, bro. It's just like, I don't remember. I honestly didn't even remember anything from that fight. So it can't be that great.
Okay.
Yeah, I honestly didn't remember from either fights, which is why I just chose with my head and not the one on my shoulders.
Yeah, like, it's a thing. Some of these, I'm like, instantly, I remember everything about them.
That wasn't Ikaku MC. That was Yumichika.
A few of them I have to be reminded, and then I will start remembering things. Like the
So-
Ikaku fight.
so the best
It wasn't
thing to-
until Rebirth did all of that until I could remember why I liked that fight. Because I honestly, when you first said it, I was like, I don't even remember that fight.
Sin, this is the
What?
biggest thing that comes out of the fight. Yumichika says Giselle smells like semen.
What? She says that?
Yeah.
Yumichika
kinda
says
crazy.
that. Yeah,
That's that. Yeah.
That's-
That's gotta be. That's in the manga, right? It's gotta be in the
yeah,
manga,
yeah.
right?
It's Thousand Year Blood War.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
okay.
Giselle was like, "Oh, you're making me moist," and then he was like, "Don't you mean hard? You reek of semen." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh no. That's crazy.
I'm gonna end the poll in 20 seconds.
You smell like semen is insane.
All right. So I mean, Gin wins this. I think it's clear.
Yeah, it's clear. There's not enough people left in the chat to make it change. I am so happy you guys let Gin beat that
No,
fight.
he's not gonna get very
All right,
far.
Yami versus Ichigo and Kenpachi versus Soi Fon versus Barragan. I think Soi Fon,
Yami versus-
like I don't care about Soi Fon versus Barragan that much. I'm gonna be straight up. I think it's an alright fight. I love the strategy used in it.
Kenpachi and Byakuya.
Yeah,
Or are we
yeah, that's
counting
what I said.
all
Kenpachi
three?
and Byakuya versus Yami versus Soi Fon versus So I think just because
I'm just voting
yeah.
against Soi Fon because I hate Soi Fon. So
I'm voting
Oh, no,
against
why?
Yami. I'm voting Soi Fon versus Barragan. I'm sorry, the Yami fight
Why?
was so.
Why are we hating on Soi Fon?
I don't know why, bro. I don't know, bro. You can ask Poke. So I just don't like Soi Fon. I don't know why, bro. I can never answer it. And it's like at first I was like, man, am I sexist? Then I was like, no, because I like all the rest of the women characters. I just don't like Soi Fon, and I don't know why.
Well, I agree with the sentiment Rukia Simp said. Soi Fon is an S tier waifu, but that's not the reason. I don't even know which one I'm gonna vote for at this point.
I just love them, like the
Barragan.
Both fights are mid.
Barragan moment where he throws his axe at Aizen as one
Nah,
last.
it is a better
destroy
fight
him.
though. I give Soi Fon my vote. I
Yeah,
just really don't
wait.
like Soi Fon.
Like, what
Hold
fight
on,
does
question.
Yami get? Like, the fight isn't even a fight. They skip half of it.
Question: when you say Soi Fon versus Barragan, aren't we only counting up to when she fires?
No, we're
her
saying
Bankai?
it's
'Cause
Soi.
After that, Hachi comes
No,
in.
it's Soi Fon and Haichi versus Barragan.
Oh, okay, so that's easy. Then it's
Yeah.
Soi Fon because that's like one of Kubo's best tactical battles.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
so-
super tactical. Okay, Stark versus Shinsui versus Haribel versus Toshiro.
Stark and Shinsui.
Stark. Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, the start fight was crazy.
Alrighty. Ryu versus Mayuri versus
One question. I'm sorry. Can I have a question to the panel before we go?
Yeah, what's
Did
up?
you guys if you think back to when Kubo in the chapter or the episode when Yamamoto says attack and everybody splits up, who is there anybody here who when they saw that Toshiro was going up against Haribel were like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
Oh yeah,
When
I
did
was
Toshiro get good enough to go with his spot?
exactly. When did like Toshiro get to the same tier as like literally? It's basically I don't even like Soi Fon going against Barragan. I don't even like that. Like I think like it should be like
when
the
did
top.
they become this strong?
Exactly. I think it should literally be like the 3 strongest captains there. Like you know what I mean?
So, I think it's more like specifically for the Soi Fon versus Barragan, it's not so much of power, it's skill. Barragan's all about touch death basically, and Soi Fon's like untouchable just because she's an assassin. She's fast as fuck.
Right.
Yeah, she's Keemstar.
Yeah, I didn't think. I did not buy Toshiro going up against.
I didn't. That was like
you're not supposed to be this strong.
Soi Fon at least makes sense because of her speed. So I see what you mean there, Axie.
Anyway,
but the other one doesn't. Yeah. I agree with you. So Mayuri versus Uryu versus Nell versus the Noitra.
Mayuri.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Sin, are you same?
Yes. I'm with y'all.
Weird thing is Toshiro won without even reaching his full. We don't talk about this, Jordan.
Did he even win? Technically, did he win? He didn't win.
Grand Fisher versus Ichigo versus Nemu and Mayuri versus Pernida. As much as I love the Ichigo versus Grand Fisher fight, as much as I love
that
it,
Grand Fisher fight, I do love it a lot.
yeah, as much as I love
Really?
it,
Why?
the
I don't.
Mayuri versus Nemu and Pernida, the Mayuri and Nemu versus Pernida fight is so clear in my opinion, so clear. Just the amount of emotional
Can I get
impact
somebody
and
to tell
development.
me why Grand Fisher versus Ichigo?
Oh,
is so
it's
good?
the moment I fell in love with.
Oh, I
Bleach.
didn't say it was so good. I just liked it. It's just like, I think it's just one of those things where it's like, it's not the greatest thing ever, but like what Grand Fisher meant to like the grand scheme of things later, it was kind of like reconnecting the thought for me. And I just remember it being like a nostalgic moment, especially like a lot of these are just nostalgic moments. Especially the earlier fights, because like Axie was saying earlier, it's like a lot of these fights, bro, like we're all like, well, I don't know how old all of us are, but I know me and Axie are in like the same age group. It's old enough to where like we were kids when we watched a lot of these. You know what I mean? So it's like it's just one of those.
For me, I love it because it feels like the first time Ichigo's fighting for his own personal reasons and not for other reasons. But I'm just gonna. It's a landslide. We all agree. Like the development in that fight is so clear. In the Pernida, it's my 4th favorite fight, maybe 3rd favorite fight in the
It's
series.
definitely not winning this, but
yeah. Alrighty.
Next round.
Kisuke Ishin Yoichi versus Aizen versus Yhwach versus Aizen and Ichigo. The final fight.
Wait, hold on, Pox. My suggestions aren't in here.
Wait, what? They should be.
Where's my Mayuri versus Zelaporo?
It's right here.
I think it got in on a bye.
Oh, okay, never mind. We're good. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Yeah. I mean, I'm voting Aizen and Ko versus Yhwach for that.
I agree.
yeah.
I mean, I love the Kisuke versus Aizen fight. I just think the final fight's better.
No, yeah. I'm fine with that.
The Kenpachi versus Unohana fight gets a bye. Grands versus Ichigo versus Kenpachi. Sorry, Grands versus Mayuri versus Uryu. Sorry. Grands versus Mayuri versus Ichigo versus Kenpachi. There we go.
Damn.
Yeah. Sorry. He was waiting for his option to come up. Is about to get beat right now because Kenpachi and Ichigo is not losing to Mayuri and Zelaporo.
I just love
I'm
that
sorry.
fight so much.
I'm voting Grands versus Mayuri. I'm voting Grands versus Mayuri. I'm sorry. The whole speech of perfection versus science is so amazing.
Put the poll up. Put the poll up. I love Mayuri. I love that fight too, but put the poll up. 'Cause there's no way I'm voting against Kenpachi and Ichigo with that Mayuri fight. No offense.
Right. Like, nah, the straight, just balls to the wall, throw it out.
Oh, the poll is now up?
Ichigo, like, come on, chat. Come on.
I need somebody to play the perfection speech right now.
Yeah, low key.
Speech
Like,
was the pinnacle
literally,
of
the
Bleach.
Mayuri speech is literally one of the best speeches in
89
Bleach.
to 11. Take that.
Y'all are wrong. Y'all are just wrong. 9 votes are. That's okay. Come on, guys. Mayuri versus Grants. Trust it. The Mayuri.
wasn't even a fight.
The Mayuri
It was a
speech
wash.
is peak Bleach. The Mayuri speech is peak Bleach. One of the best moments in Bleach of all time. Low key. He doesn't even consider Grants to be a scientist. Plus, the meaning of the fight connects with the final Mayuri fight against Pranida when Grants re-shows up and reminds him what it means to be a scientist.
Bro, I don't care about all that, man. Kenpachi's in there, man. I don't care.
Right, Kenpachi is in the fight.
I'm sorry,
Immediately.
Axie. There's no chance that we're going with this.
I'm not gonna allow you to just keep talking and giving the chat more reason to choose yours. Like we're interjecting. Remember, Kenpachi taking off his iPad.
Yeah, there's
slashing
no
the
way we were
building.
going with that. It was 72% to 28. Oh wait, I picked the wrong one.
easy.
Shoot. There we go.
We win.
Yeah.
We win.
Okay. Jugrim versus Basby versus Kenpachi versus Gremmy.
Kenpachi Grammy for me.
This
Kenpachi
is a
and Grimmy,
tough
boy. You already know what it is.
The
boy.
I
only-
love
only who can
Jugrim
beat
versus
Kenpachi
Basby,
is
but
another Kenpachi. All right.
I think I'm gonna go.
Also, just don't make this difficult, man.
It's tough for me. They're neck and neck. They're both S tier fights.
I'm going with Kenpachi.
There we go. Yeah, let's
Thank
move
you.
on. Let's move
you. Let's
on.
move on.
Let's move on.
Because the Jugrim flashback is one of the best flashbacks in Bleach, okay?
Bro, we got
don't care.
Kenpachi and Grimmy versus
don't care. It's
Kenpachi and Ichigo.
Oh yeah, that'll happen soon.
That's gonna be funny as hell.
Yhwach versus Yamamoto versus Aizen versus the Gotei 13. I'm gonna go Aizen versus the Gotei 13.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Me
Aizen.
too.
I am too.
Me too.
Clear.
Bam versus Komamura versus Ichigo versus Ukiura.
Easy way to get it out.
Bro,
easy
get
one.
that Bambi shit out of here, boy.
Okay, listen.
Put that Gotei Aura fight up there,
Ichigo
man.
versus Ukiura is my favorite fight in the series, but
Yeah, it is. My favorite fight, too.
I'm
you kidding me?
I'm simping for Bambi, and I'm going Bambi versus. No,
Oh
I'm just
my
kidding.
God,
It's a
get
joke.
the fuck
It's a
outta
joke.
here.
It's a joke. It's
That's
a joke. It's a joke.
embarrassing,
Bro,
Okay,
Ukiura
it was a
versus
joke.
Ichigo was such a perfect fight, bro.
It was a joke.
There I know, but I just have to say, bro, there are like a plethora of people that just make video analysis on that fight. That's
Oh my
how good it
gosh!
is, bro.
In my
Like,
opinion, the
everybody makes a video. Everyone that makes Bleach content has talked about that fight at least once on their channel, bro. Like, I swear to God.
the best Bleach video on the internet is an analysis on Ukiura, in my opinion.
All right.
It's by Soul Madness. I love the video.
Oh, you showed us that video. Yeah, that video was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, really
Alrighty.
well done.
Ichigo versus
easy.
Ginjo versus Ichigo and Orihime versus Yhwach. I'm going Ichigo versus Ginjo.
I am as well.
Yeah, me
Wait,
too.
wait. Including Horn of... You know what?
It's tough.
Because
Horn-
Horn of Salvation was really cool.
I gotta go with Ichigo and Orihime on this one.
Yeah, you just... Oh my gosh, Horn of Salvation's there too. But then there's also that whole dynamic between Ichigo and Ginjo that's really fire as well. These fights are like neck and neck. for me.
I'm personally going to go Ichigo versus Ginjo because that's the first time Ichigo killed a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fire.
So Sin, you're voting
Smoke
Ichigo
that
versus
nigga.
Ginjo?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Sorry, Orihime. Your simps are a singular man in the VC named
I don't think
Axie.
are there any Orihime Sims of among the four of us? Because we got a
Nah.
Bambiator, we got to just.
I mean, I have Orihime in S tier as a character.
I'm good off of that. I'm good off Orihime.
me
Alrighty.
too. Call me when it's Yoruichi, then I'll start Sim.
Yeah, exactly. What is Yoruichi? Let me know, man.
Oh dang it, Yoichi
saying?
doesn't have a fight in here. Her fight
That's
with Askin.
crazy. That's so crazy.
No,
Y'all could have threw Yoruichi versus Soi Fon in here just for the one
That's
time.
what I did. That was my suggestion.
Wait, it was?
One of
That's-
the two.
I must have missed it. Okay, I'm sorry.
Man,
No, you said.
Or at
Oh wait,
least
no, no,
throw
no.
the fight-
Yoichi versus Soi Fon should be in here, unless it
There
was
should
missed.
be. Or throw Yoruichi the fight where she went to her cat
alright.
form or
So
something.
there was one fight
Right.
that the PNG got like wasn't working. I think it was that one. I didn't know. I couldn't find it. I couldn't figure out it at like 55. Anyway, Yhwach versus Ichibe versus Ichigo. Okay, we're not even gonna talk about this one. Ichigo versus Renji gets demolished by Yhwach versus Ichibe.
Yeah, that's clear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay. Oh shoot. There we go. Alrighty. Aranero versus Rukia versus Komamura versus Kaname. This is tough for me, but I'm going to go Aranero versus Rukia just because of the emotion of her having to fight her old mentor, or at least the physical representation, the memories of him. And it's just so emotional. The manga perfectly details.
Can you remind me, was this the last arc Rukia fight or a different
No, this
one?
is the Aranka arc. It's when she has to fight her old master, which is Aranero, but like Aranero ate her old master. It's like she's like screaming. She's like, "Don't you ever ruin Kai and Shiba's memory."
Nah, that fight was fire. Damn. What's the other one?
Komamura versus Kaname. Which
They're
they're
fights.
both fire because you have like moments like when Kaname calls Komamura ugly, but then at the same time you have moments where Rukia is, like I said, is yelling at Kai and Shiba, "Don't you ever ruin the image of Kain again," or or it doesn't matter what you look like. I have Kain's heart. Like the whole both fights are peak.
I'm gonna go Tosin versus Komamura, bro.
Right, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, that fight, bro. Man, that was yeah.
I respect
that fight
it.
was just.
I respect it. I'm a Rukia.
That was an emotional. That was just an emotional, mad, beautiful. It was just a good fight, bro. It was good. It was just a good fight.
Yeah, I gotta go with the
and
Tosin one. I remember it way better than the Rukia fight.
And the thing with
how it ended too was just like very powerful.
Oh, yeah, I respect it.
The thing with Rukia and Aroniera with like I don't know about you guys, what's the name of Kayan? Like I don't know, like do we care that much about Kayan?
I did.
Because the fight hinges on if you have a very strong connection to Kayan, then you're gonna feel emotionally pulled by the fact that Ariana is using his face to battle Rukia. But I never, Kayan, I was always been like, yeah, whatever, it's whatever. At least with Komamura and Tosin, there's more there, in my opinion. There's just more there.
Kayan's character really hinges off of Rukia's relation to Ichigo and just the fact that Ichigo looks like Kayan.
Right.
Well,
and
it's
if
because
Ichigo's
they're
not
related.
there, it's like, you know, if Ichigo's not in that fight, then it kind of loses like half of its impact.
Oh,
yeah, easy.
So this is gonna be interesting. I'm curious if another Rukia fight's gonna be taken out. It depends on who we have in the VC. Rukia versus Asnot versus Ichigo versus Byakuya.
Ichigo.
Oh, this is tough.
For me,
That's
it's
an easy
Rukia
one for
versus
me.
Asnot. I guess
Which one?
I
What is the
respect that
Asnot
take.
fight?
Yeah, wait 1 second. I
When
respect
Rukia uses her Bankai.
that take, Sweaty, but he did for
that
me.
shit was
That's why
hard.
I was saying what I said.
Rukia's Bankai was crazy.
And then also like the moment where
Ichigo's
you see
Bankai.
the thing about it.
But Ichigo versus Byakuya was crazy too.
Here's the thing: they both have emotional impacts of Byakuya. One shows the start of Byakuya's journey, in all actuality, and one shows the end of Byakuya's journey. And also it shows Rukia's Bankai, but then also we get like Ichigo's whole foreshadowing. I'm going Rukia versus Asnot just because of the emotional tension of the fight. And like the whole line where bloody Byakuya is like, I don't even have to fight you. I'm leaving this whole thing with Rukia.
You know what? I think this isn't fair because we've seen Ichigo versus Byakuya animated. This is one of those fights where it's so close that it's hard to be fair because we've seen the animated version of Ichigo versus Byakuya because that's such an iconic moment.
That shit was
But like
so
Rukia,
hard.
like I'm sorry, like Rukia when Rukia comes down from the Soul King's palace and she has the goggles and the way Kubo draws her eyes, she is cold, like actually cold in that fight.
Yeah, I
Rukia
think
has never
I
looked
think
better.
from a manga
Yeah, both of these are
perspective,
crazy.
art wise,
This is
the
tough.
Rukia fight's better art wise, definitely, because it's from a later time
Can
in
we-
Kubo's art.
Can we go to the poll? Because can we go to like a poll?
Do you just
Because
want to
I think
leave it
this
up
is
to
tough.
YouTube chat? I'm down to do that.
If that's allowed.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's allowed.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah,
All right,
that's
this
fine.
is completely up to chat.
Ichigo versus Byakuya is it's another one of those very memorable moments.
Yeah, it's just hard, bro. And I think that's what Rebirth was trying to say. Like it's hard to
tough.
pick against it, bro, because it's like
Because like
it
this,
has that same thing with the Kisuke and Aizen from earlier, bro. It just has that iconic, but this was even more so, like, because it was animated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people,
Yeah, it was
this is one of those where it's like it's really hard, man.
Look,
I love how somebody in the chat is saying, "Do the right thing, chat."
Look, my little nerdy kid self was over there always saying Kageyoshi Senbon Sakura. I just that fight was just there.
No, yeah, I totally respect picking Byakuya versus Ichigo. It's just I love how Rukia versus
And,
Asuna
like-
is the pinnacle of not only Byakuya's development, but also Rukia's development.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
but
there's
also
the
it was
development
important to
of Hollow
Ichigo too. It was important for Ichigo. The Byakuya fight was important for Ichigo. Like it was.
And Rukia. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it was
Byakuya.
important. It was just like, bro.
Both are good
And
fights.
for me, I just remember. I remember the first time I seen the fight, and when I was watching it, I was just remembering back to Ichigo's first encounter with Byakuya and Renji, and how embarrassing that was,
Right.
and how cocky Byakuya is, and it's just like, oh man, it felt good. It felt good in a way where it's like, yeah, fuck this smug ass.
Yeah, no, I get what
cocky
you
motherfucker,
mean.
bro. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I
at the
totally get what
time,
you mean.
It was the beginning of Byakuya's development, the character. So
And then-
like, who he was then and who he was at the end of the series is so different.
And
Right.
you
It's
have
like-
the whole respect that Byakuya has for Ichigo. Every encounter beforehand, he never drew his sword technically to the point where Ichigo could see it until this fight, when he acknowledged that Ichigo was a foe worthy of drawing his sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Using his
By the way,
sides to,
it's-
his
Welcome
rough,
to
man.
everybody who's new in the chat. There's like 45 people watching, which is insane. I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, but also every time I think about Rukia versus Asnot, because like just to make it even harder, Asnot put the beat down on Byakuya.
No,
Like,
yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely mauled it.
Yeah,
Byakuya
he
should
did.
have died, and the fact that Rukia is the one to kill Asnot with her Bankai, with Byakuya present and saying, "I'm not gonna fight. Rukia will be the one to beat you." Like,
Yeah.
I will
But, you know,
say, I
I-
can't.
but
fucking-
Ichigo
No,
versus
I,
I can't wait for Asnot to be animated. That's gonna be
He's gonna be
fucking.
good.
Whoa.
yeah.
yeah, the emo dudes are gonna love him.
No, yeah, facts.
Alrighty,
you know what?
you guys have
Yeah, chat
one
has
last
decided.
chance to vote on the poll. I'm gonna end it in 10, 9, 8. I can't decide, bro. I can't decide. I'm just
You
gonna
gotta
end
vote.
it.
You gotta vote.
Just gonna end it. Actually, did it work? Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah, it's
Byakuya
over,
versus
yeah.
Ichigo won, but that is one of the closest polls we've had, which is fair. It kind of sucks though now that we have the two goated Rukia fights out, like just not in the bracket anymore.
Honestly, luck of the draw. You should
Yeah.
have had. You should have gone up against one of the other. two.
Ichigo versus Aizen gets another bye.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that one.
Yeah, we will when we get there. This matchup right now. Wait, is it that match? Oh wait, no. Wait, never mind. Okay, so that's good. That's already set up. We already did that. Oh, these two got free buys early, but I didn't see. My bad. Soi Fon versus Barragan versus Stark versus Shinsui. I think Stark versus Shinsui clears this fight.
Arc.
Not. No,
Okay, we
I
got.
think Barragan's backstory and his final lunging his axe at Aizen, and the fact that it shatters and Aizen turns around, sees it, and is like, "F you," and just keeps doing what he's doing.
You want to know what the
is-
best part of that fight though is for me? Rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
It's Stark's reaction. Unironically.
When Aizen doesn't look at him as he's
Yeah.
falling.
No, yeah.
Okay.
When Barragan dies, my favorite part of that fight is Stark reacting and being like, "Geez, Aizen doesn't even care about us. What the heck?"
My vote is Barragan and
Okay.
Soi Fon.
Sensei, we on that Soi Fon hate?
Nah, bro. What's the other choice?
Stark versus Shinsui or Barragan versus Soi Fon. Here's the thing: Shinsui has such a great backstory.
Bro.
I mean, sorry, not Shinsui. Stark has such a
Yeah,
great backstory.
Stark is
His
so
whole
fire,
solitude
bro,
aspect.
but
And then the whole line where Stark realizes that he's no longer alone is just so
Bro,
emotional.
if we're including with the Soi Fon fight the after, right?
Oh, we're
Yeah.
including the Haichi, but then we're also including
yeah.
like Stark versus like all the other guys too. So we're including the Visor battles with them. Like,
The Haichi part was hard.
It was,
hard, bro.
He
but
put his arm inside him.
But like
Yeah, bro.
Shun Sui's line right after killing Stark.
Putzel, stop it.
No,
You're
no,
trying
no,
to stop
no,
it.
no, no, no. Shun Sui's line right after killing Stark, saying like, "In war there is no good side, there's only evil," is like so fire too. Like,
Yeah.
and then like Shun Sui like practically like cheat killing Stark. Was amazing.
All right, man. All right. Stop. All right. I'm gonna go with Soi Fon, man.
Yes.
Come on, Axie,
I'm gonna
tie
go
it.
Soi Fon, bro. That
Oh, no, I
Heisey,
already told you
Heisey.
it's Stark for me.
Oh, let's go. Okay, so it's a tie. Okay.
Let's go to the poll. Yeah, it's fine this way. I'd rather it be the poll than.
Yeah, because then it gives
someone had to be crushed. Yeah,
it gives the 40 people in chat like a voice, I guess. So I do like this. Shun Sui and then Soi Fon as well. I'll name it. Alright, so Shun Sui versus Stark versus Soi Fon versus Barragan.
Yeah, it's like we're not gonna talk about how underwhelming it was for Stark to get beat. Like
Cap, you're wrong. You're wrong. It's not underwhelming. It's peak fiction.
I thought it was underwhelming.
You're wrong. No, I'm
In
just.
fact, no.
I'm just playing.
I'm about to. I'm straight. I'm.
You
straight
know I'm
fighting
messing
off.
with you when I say that, right?
No, yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I know.
Okay. I
but
want to
yeah.
make that clear. I don't like.
No, but honestly, Stark for like, are we all really saying we were satisfied? when
Yes,
Stark went to
I
his
was satisfied.
resurrection, he split his soul into multiple dogs that explode on impact, and that was it.
I was
Are we really
satisfied.
saying that-
I cried when Stark.
I was not.
I cried when
I was
Stark
not.
died. I was satisfied.
Barragan has death.
Yeah,
Harigal has her sharp
Barragan
stuff,
has
Stark
death,
just
but
blows
Soi
things
Fon's
up.
Bankai is the worst Bankai of the series, period. Changed my mind. It was so
Well,
underwhelming.
To be honest,
It's just a nuke.
the whole point of her Bankai is it doesn't fit.
Oh no, yeah, exactly. Like Kubo literally, like the whole point of Soi Fon's Bankai is yes, this Bankai is trashed. For Soi Fon. For Soi
We're
Fon.
gonna
For
choose
Soi Fon.
Shinsui.
Let's
I
go.
tried.
Let's
Hey guys, I'm
go.
a sneaky assassin, but let me drop this nuke on
Yeah.
you real quick.
Hey, so if her Shikai is a 2-hit kill type item, her Bankai is a 1-hit kill. Because it's a nuke. Even though it
Except
never...
it's never worked.
Yeah, it's
Except
never worked.
Look, it's the same thing they say for stealth games. No one can find you if they're all dead.
Alright. Do you care if I end the poll now, or do you want me to wait a little longer? It's 70.
Yeah, it's clear. It's
Okay.
a clear winner. Yeah.
Let's go. Y'all have good taste. Y'all literally like have good taste now. I respect you guys so much more. Alright, next up is Mayuri versus Uryu versus Mayuri versus Pernida. This includes the Nemu portion. I'm going Mayuri and Nemu versus Pernida. As much as I love the Mayuri versus Uryu fight.
Give me Uryu versus Mayuri.
So 1 for 1.
Hold on, I gotta think about this real quick.
Yeah.
Uryu's last style.
Yeah,
Sacrificing
convince
his
me.
power
Yeah, it's
after learning Mayuri killed and experimented on his grandfather.
It's-
And Uryu is the first. He one-shotted Mayuri's Bankai. Like, one-shotted his Bankai.
It's great, but seeing like that was like for me just like the build up with Mayuri's character, and then like actually seeing the finishing touches to Mayuri's character. Like Uryu continues to grow later on. Like Uryu has other moments throughout the series, but like when I think of like the
Doesn't
best
have a bigger
Mayuri
one
battle,
than that, though.
I would argue, yeah, I actually think that yeah, the I'd say the Jugrim versus Uryu fight, but no, I don't know.
No.
Anyway.
This was literally Uryu's peak. He doesn't get anything better to do.
Mayuri and
In my opinion.
Mayuri and Nemu versus Pernida was so emotional for me because for the first time, Mayuri showed that he actually like cared about Nemu, and then watching as Nemu sacrificed herself to save Mayuri, and then seeing Grands reappear, it just felt like every Mayuri fight came to fruition and reached out back to Mayuri, and Mayuri felt the touch of every fight he's ever been in, and
I still prefer the like you're going for the emotional weight of Mayuri versus Pernida. I'm going for the pure Kubo style.
yeah, no.
of Uryu versus-
I totally get it.
versus
I think there's an
Mayuri.
argument for both
Right.
sides.
Because again, like one of the reasons why I'm arguing for this is that the Sternritter Volstandig is the perfected version of the last style, the lit still that Uri uses. And really, if you're like going into the final arc, The one time we've seen a Quincy use last style or last stand, he one-shotted a captain in Bankai. That's ridiculous. You know, like, it just way to hype up the Quincy even before the Quincy get here. You know, and the fact that he was taking control of the Reishi in the Serite, he was just breaking down the Reishi to make an arrow. And do you remember the way they animated the lines as he shot that? Come on.
And then Uryu gets one shot, but we don't talk about that.
He doesn't get one shot.
Kaname.
Come on, he didn't get his abilities then. It faded. And we're not even counting that, so who cares?
No, I'm just messing around.
Right, but I've said my piece, though.
Yeah. I think we both have said everything that we think, like, these fights contain. Like, I mentioned, like, the whole Nemu thing. You mentioned the whole Uryu thing. I think it just depends on which one you value more, and I'm excited to hear Axie and Sin's response. In fact, I think this would be a great one.
I'm going to go Uryu and Mayuri.
I can't even take the horny way out. Nemu's in both fights.
What did you say, Axie?
I can't even take the horny way out. Nemu's in both fights.
Right.
So do you rather do you rather like watching Nemu get kicked or Nemu flexing?
Well, depends on what you're into.
I know. That's why I'm asking. I'm seeing what Axie.
Look, now if I answer like the Uryu one, it's gonna make it seem like that's what I like.
We don't judge. We don't judge.
It's all good,
so
Tokyo.
Let me say this. I do not enjoy seeing women get hit, but the Uryu versus Mayuri fight is my choice.
Yes.
You're all wrong. Oh well.
Sit down.
You don't get all your victories, you know. Sometimes you take L's.
There we go.
Yhwach versus Aizen and Ichigo versus Unohana versus Kenpachi. I'm going Unohana versus Kenpachi.
I as well.
Yep.
Alright.
I think we all know Sin would choose Kenpachi.
Yeah. We already know Sin's gonna choose Kenpachi. That's why I didn't ask. Ichigo versus Kenpachi versus Gremmy versus Kenpachi. This is a tough one for me.
Ooh, can Sin go first? I want to know what he guesses.
Actually, no. I want to know what Sin, the Kenpachi fan, is gonna pick.
Wait. Are we at the double Kenpachi one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn. We got Kenpachi versus Ichigo, and then Kenpachi versus Grimmy.
Yep.
Raw versus Raw.
Okay. I'm going to go. Oh my god. Okay, so there's multiple things here. So Kenpachi versus Ichigo, I like it a lot for obvious reasons on the meathead side of things, but also it's really cool to find out early on that well, not early on, but when we find out in the Unohana fight why Kenpachi fights the way he does, it gives you a different perspective of all the fights before it, which is really cool, because it's just like, oh, okay, it kind of gives you an idea of like how he's limiting himself subconsciously, which is cool. Also, we find out that a lot of the early fights with Ichigo, including this one, kind of confused about certain things like his Ryatsu level and things like that, and then we find out information about Ichigo. So it makes the Ichigo and Kenpachi fight really cool, because Ichigo and Kenpachi, right, they had this awesome fight where it seems like a draw, and then like right after this we get Tosen and Komamura. He doesn't really get to fight Komamura because the Byakuya Ichigo stuff was going on and stopped the Aizen stuff was going on and it stopped everything. But the Tosen fight, he just completely obliterates Tosen, like bad. Like it wasn't really even close. So it was cool for those reasons. All right, but now we get to the Grimmy fight, which is really, really cool because it's like our first time getting to see Kenpachi after the Unohana fight, and like we're getting to see him in like his peak performance, and then, you know, later we get to see his Bankai. But it having Grimmy lose because he's trying to like basically become as powerful as Kenpachi, it is like it's probably one of the coolest ways that I've seen someone go out. Like,
especially
how
for
cool-
like how like Kubo kind of like wrote himself. Like everybody was like, how is anybody gonna defeat Gremmy because
bro.
Gremmy's ability, and that is
Yes,
like the
bro.
most genius
This
way
man
to do it.
Kenpachi is so strong that Grammy beat himself, bro. Like, that is
Kenpachi.
trying to be Kenpachi, bro. For that reason, I'm gonna give it to Grammy versus Kenpachi, bro.
And
That shit.
I got nothing to say.
I'm agreeing with Sin. Kenpachi versus Gremmy is clear for me. It's good. Both are close.
That shit was so crazy, bro. And then to see the amalgamation of his body as he's trying to like become Kenpachi, his muscles ripping apart, and like, oh, it was so, bro.
Hey,
And,
Kudos,
you know,
Kubo, kudos.
Sin, guess what?
One aspect of this that I think makes the fight even better is the fact that when Grammy was fighting, all the Stern Raiders have this idea where it's like, get the fuck out of the way. Like, Grammy is dangerous.
Yeah.
You don't want to mess with him. When he brought down the meteorite, Bazby's like, what the heck is he doing? He's gonna kill us all. And the moment Kenpachi beat Grammy, everyone was like, get Kenpachi now.
Yeah, we have to kill
Yeah.
him. Like, if we can kill him while he's
Yeah.
weak, we don't have to deal with him later. Here's
That
something
gives
funny.
him the level of prestige Kenpachi gets, the respect that he gets from the enemy. It's crazy.
The next time this match is in another matchup, it's against a Kenpachi fight.
Again, Kenpachi's just dogging himself. He's just beating himself.
So,
it's crazy.
yeah, are we all saying Kenpachi versus Gremmy?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Such a great scene. My goodness.
Wait, what happened? Okay, there we go. Yeah, low-key, the next matchup for this like bracket area is Kenpachi versus Unohana versus Kenpachi versus Gremmy.
We'll leave that one to
yeah,
Sin. I want to
yeah.
know what Sin does.
Ukiora,
Oh man,
Ukiora versus
y'all know what I'm
Ichigo
picking, but we can keep
versus
going.
Aizen versus the Gotei 13. I'm going Ichigo versus Ukiora all the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, dang it. What?
It sucks to see Aizen versus Gotei go, but it is in the third round, so it had its run, but it's just going against the granddaddy of them all.
Exactly.
You're gonna have to be something special to beat Ichigo versus.
Yeah, it's gotta be something crazy, bro. It's gotta be something crazy.
Alrighty. Ichigo versus Ginjo versus Ichibe versus Yhwach.
Yeah,
Ichibe versus Yhwach.
Get it out of here.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go the same way. I think
Yeah.
I'm going the same route. Alrighty. Next up is Kaname versus Komamura versus Byakuya versus Ichigo. I'm going Byakuya versus Ichigo.
Yeah, get Kaname.
Yeah, Byakuya versus Ichigo.
Alrighty.
Here we go.
Sosuke Aizen versus Ichigo versus Kisuke versus Askin. And my answer is probably going to shock the chat based off of stuff I've said in videos. But I think I'm going Ichigo versus Aizen here, myself. But I want to know Rebirth's opinion on this before any discussion. I actually want to know your actual value opinion on this. Because we talked about both of these fights in our video, in our collab a while back.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Askin versus Kisuke because I am personally not a big fan of Ichigo versus Aizen for the simple fact of the Don guy stuff, the final gets attention stuff. I'm like, it's like another another Yhwach versus Yamamoto where it's good and the end result is kind of good, but there are so many things that I'm not a fan of. So Ichigo versus Aizen, I have a lot of issues with, quite frankly. So I'm gonna go with Askin and Kisuke because seeing Kisuke's Bankai, seeing Kisuke methodically and tactically outdo Askin, and the fact that Askin went through Yoruichi, he went through Yoruichi's brother, and then he went through, well, actually, let me go back. Askin went through Grimmjow, he went through Ichigo, he went through Yoruichi, he went through Yoruichi's brother, and then he got to Kisuke, and he was double teamed for I think Grimmjow had to come back and actually give him the finishing blow. Like, to me, Askin was an MVP. He did so much. So I'm going Askin.
Alrighty. What about you, Aki and Axie? Blah.
Look, did you see how I just sliced that mountain? That wasn't you. No, I have to go with Ichigo versus Aizen here.
Fair.
That fight was just.
Question. I'm just asking. That it's like there's no denying that it could be cool, but doesn't it Like for Aizen having been built up all the story of Bleach is one of the most smartest individuals to not know that what's busting the mountain isn't him. Isn't that
No,
embarrassing?
I think it's because Aizen underestimated, and because of that, he blinded himself. And that's what makes it so great, because you see this intelligent, mastermind individual become this arrogant, almost.
Yeah.
And then also,
I think the point
yeah.
the point that I got out of it was like this person that was completely using his intellect for most
Yeah.
of the story
And
had
it's
become a god and become so powerful that he started relying on something else entirely.
And it's also thematically beautiful. I mean, Ichigo's a being that ascended through the natural means, while Aizen is a being that ascended through artificial means. And then also Aizen's entire speech at the end it's just brilliant. Kisuke's entrance, Ichigo. I mean, I love this. It is. Hey, Big Treasy. It is just so good, and I totally love the Kisuke fight. But for me, just because the thematics and just because of how much I love Aizen's like entire rage, and especially Aizen's speech at the end, that's what makes Ichigo versus Aizen my vote. But so far it's 2-1. Rebirth is 1. Me and Axie are voting for the Ichigo versus Aizen fight. So Sin.
Yeah, I am as well.
Like, I have my grievances with the fight too, but its importance, its culmination, like that's the point where, how many chapters was it up until that point? Basically, the culmination of the first part of the story ends, and it's satisfying enough.
Fair enough. I can't really argue against that.
Yeah. No, but I totally get your angle. I want to make that clear. With all of these, I think you've had great points throughout the entire stream. Even though some of them are hard to argue against, and it makes me struggle. Dang it. Alright, so the next one is going to be Byakuya versus Tsukishima versus Ichigo versus Gin. We both have talked about both of these fights extensively enough, I feel like. So I think we should just go for the vote. I'm voting Ichigo versus Gin, which is kind of expected, but for me...
Byakuya, Fukushima.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Tsukishima fight.
As will I. Screw you.
Screw you. You and
Gin
your
not getting
Kisuke
past
fight.
the second round.
Gin did make it past the second round. See, the first round
I'm
didn't
sorry,
exist
third.
for Gin.
Third.
Gin deserves to get
Whatever it
past to the final round. Let's talk about it. Anyway, Shunsui versus Stark versus Mayuri versus Uryu. I already know where the voice chat is going to go with this based off of the past, but I'm going Stark versus Shunsui personally just because of how much that fight means to me individually. It's entirely biased, but my vote goes for Shunsui versus Stark.
What's the other fight?
Mayuri
Uryu
versus
versus
Uryu.
Mayuri, which I already know is probably going to be the
that's
one
my
y'all,
vote.
y'all will
That's
go
my
for.
vote as well.
What's your vote, Axie?
Uryu.
Uryu? Got it.
Get
Alrighty.
Stark out of here.
Stark deserved to win. Let's just talk about it. No.
All right, Sin, I think you're up.
Alrighty,
All right,
Sin.
man. Look, man. Grimmy versus Kenpachi is a great fight, man. But Unohana versus Kenpachi is the one, bro. That is the one, bro. That's the only fight that in my mind, I am competing against the Ukiura fight with. I think the Unohana Kenpachi fight is the best Kenpachi fight. That's where my vote is going.
The whole reveal
Yeah.
that Kenpachi is a title and Unohana was the one who had it, but it's
Oh
almost
my
impossible
god!
to
And
not
then on
vote
top
for
of that, I'm not even gonna sit up here and lie and pretend like I knew, because I didn't. I did not know at any point that fucking Unohana, of all people, was the fucking Kenpachi before Kenpachi, bro. Never in my mind was I thinking that the fucking healer was the other Kenpachi. I know that people say there's some foreshadowing,
Yeah.
and some people say that they knew, but no,
It's very subtle.
I'm not going to sit up here and lie and say that I knew. I did not know.
I did not know
Which made it that much crazy to me.
Yeah, I think when it comes to the foreshadowing, nobody guessed that she was the first Kenpachi. It's more like once we found out, we looked back at the story and we were like, oh my gosh, Kubo like had this concept kind of planned
Yeah,
out.
man. But some people really be like, oh, I knew, and I'm like, Did you
Really?
know? Yeah, some people say that. I'm like, I think that it's one of those things where they're just lying and they're just trying to like sound cool.
Here's
you know
the
what I mean?
fact.
Like, yeah, I knew, and I'm like, did you know though?
We learn
Like-
in this fight that Unohana literally became the strongest healer for one purpose, so that her fights could last longer. Like, bruh, imagine becoming the strongest healer out of the Shinigami, and you did it solely because you wanted your fights to last longer.
And look, Grimmy versus Kenpachi is good, but one of the best aspects of Kenpachi's battle with Unohana is just the fact that it's so clear off the rip that Kenpachi cannot stand. Like he's not on Unohana's level. She's outclassing him in every way, to the point where Unohana is killing him, bringing him back
And bringing him back
kill
to
him
life.
again,
Yeah,
to just
It's crazy,
repeat the
bro.
process, just to get
Beat
you
your ass.
on my level.
I'ma heal ya, and then I'm gonna beat your ass some more.
alrighty.
And like within that fight, I think there was a point in time where she thrust her sword through his throat, and you know there's also the scene where Kenpachi actually cries. Like this is peak Kenpachi right here.
Facts.
So you know, easy
Yeah.
win.
Alrighty, the next fight is Ukiura versus Ichigo
Oh.
versus Ichigo versus Ichibe versus Yhwach. I love Ichibe versus Yhwach, but I'm going Ichigo versus
I'm
Yhwach.
going with Ukiura versus Ichigo, but this hurts. This is one of those
Yeah.
ones that sting a little bit because I really like this Ichibe
It's like
fight.
it's two top 10 fights against each other. Period.
That's my guy, bro. Ichibe is my guy, bro. But you know, I can't wait to see him animated, man. Like, oh my god, it's gonna be crazy. But yeah, I gotta give it to Ukiura Ichigo, man.
Yeah, I think what Ichibe versus Yhwach lacks is build up. Because I mean, in a general sense, because we know that they're both the leaders of both sides, we expect them to interact with each other. But Kubo took his time with Ukiura and Ichigo. Like he took his time with that. And Orihime in the middle, and the whole three-way. I mean, like it's not a three-way love triangle. It's like I hate it when people make it look like it's not about love here. This is deeper than that. So to me, Ichigo versus Ukiura is gonna take a big one to beat them. They might go all the way.
Cap Almond, Oetsu was cool too. Fight me 1v1. Okay, anyway, moving forward. Oh wait, Axie, do you agree with us or no?
Yeah, I agree.
Alright. Ichigo versus Byakuya versus Ichigo versus Aizen. This one's tough for me, but I'm gonna go with Ichigo versus Aizen. Again, this is one that we've discussed.
Give me Byakuya.
This
Yeah,
is
give
one
me
that I feel like we've discussed enough to where it doesn't really matter. What's your take, Sim?
I'm going Ichigo versus Byakuya.
Dang it, y'all are wrong. Anyway, moving on.
It's a more fulfilling fight, in my opinion.
I mean, that's fair. I respect it. Like I said, like both of those fights are in my top 10, so like either way, I'm not upset. Tsukishima versus Byakuya versus Mayuri versus Uryu. I have Tsukishima versus Byakuya above it. For me.
Give me Uryu.
Yeah, I'm going with Uryu versus Mayuri.
Yeah, I gotta go with Uryu too.
Dang it.
Let's go, Uryu. We're gonna give you a dub. We're gonna try it.
Mayuri, that's like Mayuri's third best fight. It's not even top 2 for Mayuri. Let's talk about it. Anyway, moving on.
This is
Unohana versus Kenpachi versus Ichigo versus Uki.
God damn, yo. This the one, yo. I knew it, yo. I knew
This is-
it. I
this is
fucking
like-
knew it.
This is the finals before the finals.
This
Everybody
should
knows that.
genuinely be the finals.
Oh my
Like,
god,
This
bro.
can we all agree that this would be the finals if they weren't up against each other now? Like,
Bro,
Yeah,
can we
this-
can we do the other one first? Because I feel like no matter what the other one is, it's losing to one of these.
the other one for
Yeah,
me
okay,
is
that's a good idea.
Ichigo versus
That's a good
Byakuya.
idea.
That's my vote.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Ichigo
Yeah.
versus Byakuya.
Yeah.
Dang it, I
This
actually.
is
Because
This is
like we can agree that like Ichigo versus Byakuya is losing to either one of these, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
On the left
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
I genuinely believe. Oh yeah, by the way, for the finals, we'll do a poll. We won't be doing the finals. We'll leave that to
Okay.
a poll in the chat.
Okay.
okay. That's fair.
Yeah, Ukiura hasn't had competition until now.
Oh my
Alex.
god, bro.
For me, it's Ukiura versus Ichigo, but Unohana versus Kenpachi is my second favorite fight in the series. Like the only fight for me that beats this fight is Ichigo versus Ukiura.
I'm going Unohana versus Kenpachi.
Me too, bro. Me too, bro. That fight is too crazy, bro.
And let me lay down what I think. Look, the fact, and I'm just gonna put this in perspective. The fact that it's this hard, and Unohana versus Kenpachi isn't animated, proves that it's Unohana versus Kenpachi. Uri versus Ichigo is not only manga and animated, we even got more in the movie, and still it's hard, even without the animated version of Unohana versus Kenpachi. That's how good Unohana versus Kenpachi is.
So
I'm going with
the chat is saying that we should make Ichigo versus Byakuya third place and turn this one into finals.
Are we allowed to do that?
I don't know if I can replace
I think that's disingenuous. I don't think we should do that.
I can do it.
This was randomized.
Because it kind of diminishes at like everything else that the other side of the bracket did.
I could do it.
And they were trying.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
They were
No, I agree. There we go. All right. So what's your vote, Axie? Are you going to turn it into a tie? Or are you going to go the incorrect route?
I'm going to have to be that guy and turn it into a tie. Ichigo versus Ulquiorra is just... It's a hard choice between the two of them. So I kind of narrowed it down to importance to the story. And while Kenpachi is important, Ichigo's our main character. And this fight was extremely important to his character.
No, yeah, I don't think...
We go two polls, then we got to do this one, and then...
I don't think any of us in the VC are mad at either one of these being the other.
No, I'm not at all.
Yeah.
It was very difficult. But I'm kind of with Rebirth here, man. Like the fact that it's even this close and it's not animated is like,
oh my gosh, the scene where Unohana like introduces herself inside Thousand Year Blood War, that's gonna blow me away. Like because it's gonna be so cold, the music is gonna be dark, it's gonna be fire.
Yeah, I think we should revisit this. Like when the moment that anime episode drops, we need to all of us need to just be like, all right, so do we agree that
just hop on stream and discuss it in detail.
Because Kenpachi versus Unohana, Xy's right. It doesn't have the same level of story and
oh my gosh, it's 50-50 right now.
As Ulquiorra versus Ichigo, but Kenpachi is a pillar of Bleach, and the fact that Unohana dies at the end at Kenpachi's hand, I think this is one of Kubo's absolute best fights in the entire
because when that Unohana, bro, I'm just like picturing it in my head, bro, animation, bro, OSTs, bro, like, bro, I'm
Thank you so much, Steve.
With this new gen animation,
I'm trying not to let it sway me too much, but it's like, bro, just picturing it in my head in the anime is gonna be crazy.
It is gonna be good.
Oh my god, bro.
Honestly, because I genuinely believe Bleach's animation too is going to be a lot better for that fight than the Ulquiorra fight. Because I think the Ulquiorra fight looks fire, but like think about the amount of budget that's going to go in that fight. I mean, my vote is still the Ulquiorra fight, but like I'm just so gassed to see the Unohana one. I want to make that.
They know how important this fight is going to be.
Exactly.
They know.
Like if they screw up this fight, they screw up the anime. Like I'm just being straight up.
Yeah, they won't. They know. Like they know.
Yeah, but so I'm not mad, bro. It's close. It's 53-47. Ulquiorra is winning right now. I'm not mad, bro. Close. I'm not mad at Ulquiorra winning, bro. I just big respects to the Unohana fight, bro. Like it's just.
Antonio's in the chat saying, "Vote for the right fight." Remember, Vastalorde and all this.
Man, Vastalorde. If Vastalorde pulled up in Kenpachi versus Kenpachi, they would tell Vastalorde to sit the fuck down.
Hancho, everybody vote. Low key, we still have 8 people in the chat that have not voted on the poll.
And it's really close.
It's 53-47 right now.
Come on. 49-51 right now for me. Maybe I'm behind. Probably behind.
Nah, it's 51-49.
Yeah, now it's 51-49 for me. I think I'm behind.
Come on. My goodness. And you know, like this
is before it's animated.
Right, like everything's coming back to me when Kenpachi's like, the one scar you gave me hurts just looking at you, and then Unohana is like, crazy, bro. My scar hurts too just looking at you, because you can see the scar Kenpachi left on her. It's like these are just it's just amazing.
Oh my gosh! Somebody said, remember Orihime saying Kurosaki-kun is not in the manga. That is cap. It is in the manga. There's an entire panel just full of the word Kurosaki-kun.
51-49. Okay.
That being said, that panel's fine.
Someone said he's not voting.
I'm not voting at all. One dope gamer. Come on, one dope gamer. Vote Ukiura.
Oh. I mean, I mean, this is just me trying to sway the chat. Kenpachi has no qualms against killing people. This was the first time Kenpachi's like, please don't die. Please don't die. Because he had to kill Unohana to get out of there.
He didn't kill Nanoitra until Nanoitra e-bagged him.
But the point is, Kenpachi has no problem killing people.
No, I know.
If he has to.
Can
But
I
in this
just
case,
say,
he genuinely
I'm
did not want to kill
so
him.
happy Axie voted Ukiura and turned this into a tie because it is so close right now. Like, it could go either way. Like, 3 people could hop in, vote. Okay, somebody just voted Ukiura, so now it's 53-47.
Okay, I think that pretty much probably settles it.
Should we wait for 40 votes? There's 48 people in the watching.
Okay. I mean, if they'll vote.
39 votes just for Ukiura, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it's over now.
Yeah, there's
54,
no...
46? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm ending the poll.
40, 55, 45.
Now it's time for the finale. I hope the chat chooses the right one here.
Can I just say before we do this, is it like, because I want to know what you guys think here. Do you think that if you do a best fight in a series, and at least one of the final fights isn't involving the main character, like isn't that a huge indictment on the author? If your main character's fight can't get in the final for one of the best fights, you probably screwed something up.
Yeah, and Kubo's got 2.
Kubo's got 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't even think we need to put this to a poll, bro, honestly.
I'm hoping that people, like, the chat goes crazy and it's like 90
I don't feel
to
like
10.
the chat is I just don't see the chat. If the chat just vote,
It just went crazy. Oh my gosh. It's already clear. 76% Ukiura, 17 votes.
Yeah, this is clear.
So this is an easy dub.
Yeah, this
It's an easy dub, bro. Like, if it beat the Unohana fight, it's beating this. No offense. This fight, the Byakuya Ichigo fight is awesome, but, like, it's not, you know what I'm saying?
Antonio, you are a clown. Antonio said, I totally look like a clown now. For me, it's Byakuya versus Ichigo.
Yeah, Ichigo
so,
versus,
overall, y'all wrong, bruh. Jax, no you. I think, although there's a few that was, like, very, like, not, like, I think there's a few where I would have gone the other way. As I think same thing would go for Rebirth through this. I'm happy with the victor. And even the finals I agree with. I just don't think Mayuri versus Uryu should be there. That's the only one that I like. I don't know. That one went wild for me. For me, it'd be like Pranida versus Mayuri would be there. But I get where it came from. And overall, I think this wasn't half too bad. Especially the left side. Like, I heavy agree with most of the stuff that happened on the left side. On the right side,
most of our
it was sus.
discussions came from the left side. Like,
yeah,
we had to sit on the left side for quite a while.
Yeah, the left is the Eastern Conference.
I think the only one that took a while was like 1 or 2 of these, maybe. Yeah, like the Starks took a while against Soi Fons.
Yeah, I think the right fight won.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to end the poll with 36 votes. Ukiura versus Ichigo. According to this stream, with 43 people watching right now, Ukiura versus Ichigo is the greatest battle in all of Bleach. And
Yes, sir.
I'm happy with that. Thank you guys so much for watching today's stream. I was not expecting it to do as well as it did. Shout out.
We're done. I'm gonna head out. I got something I need to do, bro. But I tried to make sure I stayed for the whole time. Yo, chat. Thanks for pulling up. Thanks for everybody from my channel that pulled up to support Pokesel, the GOAT. Make sure y'all subscribe. He's real close to 2,000. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get them to them 2 bands. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Postal, thanks for inviting me. It was a blast. Rebirth. It was nice meeting you, talking to you for the first time. Axie's always a pleasure, my guy.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming out, son. We'll have to do something like this again. It was actually a crap.
Yeah, bro. Maybe we'll do the losers bracket, or I could indulge in the power scaling. I don't like power scaling, but I could be there to be toxic.
Yeah, it would just be fun to be toxic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or maybe like a waifu tier. I think that might be more fun.
Ooh, a waifu wars.
Self-wins.
But I'd be surrounded by Yoichi stance.
We do the waifu tier list, bro. We gotta do like a real genuine waifu tier list from all shows, bro. We gotta have the whole. We gotta do the huge one, bro.
Like a big three waifu tier list. A big
yeah, we could do
through
we could do a
waifu
big
war.
three, or we could just do. I'm sure there's like tier list maker tier list of people that have done. There's horny people on the internet. I'm sure somebody need.
Yeah, Axie.
Hey.
Although I'd be scared that Axie would just be Giselle and Astolfo.
But yeah, I'm a bounce. But thank you guys though.
Yeah, thank you so much for showing up, Rebirth. Thank you, Axie, as well, for coming out. Shout out to Lebelurgers for subscribing to the channel. Again, thank you guys for coming out. To the 32 people that are still watching, if you guys are not subscribed, consider subscribing. We are on the journey to 2K. Only like 80 away. Share the channel, share the stream, check out the people who were in the stream. If you guys haven't seen Sensei, he makes hilarious content. If you guys haven't seen Flames of Rebirth, he's another Bleach YouTuber. I mostly produce Bleach content, but so does he. And then also Axie, he is a great YouTuber as well. Check him out. So yeah, I got you, bro. Thank you so much, Pat. Golly, I'm gonna be ending the stream here, but we're definitely gonna do another one of these in like a month or two. Something similar. In fact, this was in celebration of hitting 1.8k subs. Thank you, Pat Golly, for the subscription. I'll link them. You know what? I will drop their links real quick for you guys, and then I'll be ending the stream. Also, I do have a Twitter and Discord if you guys want to follow me there. But let me get their links loaded up. This is Axie's channel. Gazelle's not the best. You're L ratio. There's Axie's channel. Here is Sensei's channel. And then Flames of Rebirth. Here is Rebirth's channel. Anyway, in the words of Ginichimaru, bye-bye. Also, check out my most recent video. It was fire. Bye.